what you want some precepts to hold?
While I'm checking this chart. Jeremiah 28:8. Flow in the spirit. All the time I listen, man, yours working, bro. Jeremiah 28:8. Here we go, St. Matthew 24. Go ahead and open up.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
All right, Shalom. We are the real Hebrew Israelites. We come here week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of the wicked, sinful kingdom known as America, Babylon the Great. Before we open up, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders, great millstone, teaching us the 100% truth according to the Bible, and we rule well. And shalom to all you Akim and you Aqua, those are hopeful elected and seeking for salvation. And we in the times, we in the end of a reign, end of a rulership. Esau, the so-called white man, known as the wicked in the Bible, is ruling and his kingdom is coming to an end. This is why you're seeing all these things happening throughout the planet Earth. Wars and rumors of wars. I think India and Pakistan going at it. You got Russia still attacking Ukraine. Always happens. Russia attacking Ukraine still. You got division amongst EU and NATO because we are at the end. And everything the Lord is putting spirit on our teachers to teach about down to us through the Holy Spirit is literally happening these times. Yep.
2nd Ezra 6:9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
That's the exact scripture I was thinking about, man. So we're looking at a transition of kingdoms, right? Esau is going down, the so-called white men, so-called white people who are ruling, and our kingdom is being ushered in. This is why everything's happening. It's a paradigm shift. You know, the Lord is shaking everything up. You know, the great awakening of the Israelites are happening. You got the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans coming together in this truth. Those who are true believers, who are calling on Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus. So this is a great shift happening because the Lord is taking down one kingdom and he's setting up a new rulership, an everlasting kingdom which was promised to Yahushai, Daniel the 7th chapter. That's it. You read it again, Baba Kushah?
That's what Jeremiah
Right? 2nd Ezra 6:9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
And when it says the end of the world, it doesn't mean that the Lord is going to do away with the earth. The earth is going to abide forever. It's talking about the end of a reign, end of a rulership, end of a kingdom. Okay? You got it? Oh, come. You got one?
The book of Luke, chapter 1 and 68. Blessed be the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, power of Israel.
Yep.
Power of who?
Power
Power of Israel.
Power of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans. Right? The God of the Israelites, not of all these nations. You got it.
For he has visited and redeemed his people.
His people are possessive pronoun. Speaking of the Israelites, that's how you know salvation is only for the nation of Israel. And it's going to start with the elect, the chosen out of the nation of Israel. Okay, so Yahushua died on the cross for the Israelites. Okay, specifically started with the elect. He didn't die. He didn't die for all these other nations, man. And you got our people scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. It may look like these heathens. Okay, but the Lord is coming back to redeem His people.
And has raised the horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David.
Yep, horn, that power of salvation. You know, for his people who need saving. Because the laws was given to the nation of Israel, and we broke the first covenant. We still continue to sin to this day. We can't keep the law perfectly.
Hey, one clear evidence now, you know, everybody's making fun of it and making jokes of it, but the word black fatigue, that just shows you right there, due to the curses, and due to us being so lost and being so messed up in our mind and mentally, we have given people a child of us.
Yeah.
But that goes to what? Because we are people that's broken.
Right.
Hey, all the curses that you see in Deuteronomy 28 is on us.
On us.
So what you expect? What you expect to come from a people that have been destroyed, and then a system that has been strategically been going against them?
Yep.
What can you expect with so-called black fatigue?
Right.
And the whole earth is tired of niggas, man.
And why is that?
Yeah.
Like the scripture says, I have cultivated a plant, but they have perfect, but they have become degenerate.
Yep, right.
And you see it.
Yep.
Jacob's degenerates, man. And that's why, we're tired of it.
Yep.
And Esau's tired of it. But say for instance, you become a vigilante and try to stop the crime.
Yep.
Well, then you're part of the problem too. But it's a black fatigue that benefits Esau. That's
Yep.
the thing about it.
I got the definition of fatigue. It's fatigue in the Google. It says extreme tiredness resulting from mental or physical exertion or illness.
Hey,
Yep.
oh man,
That's
Deuteronomy 28.
sickness.
Yep. The sickness. Yep.
He said all the sicknesses that's not even written down in his Bible shall cleave to you.
Right.
Yep.
It says, let's see here.
That's why he said that nigga fatigue.
Yep.
That's why he be lashing out on Jake. Shooting Jake, ready to anger Jake. They justify it in a lot of ways, their anger towards Jake.
Yep.
Because when you go to Deuteronomy, we were just speaking about the chapter of Deuteronomy, when you read, I believe it's the 32nd chapter, it speaks about how the Lord is separating the nation.
Yep.
We're not supposed to live next to each other, around each other.
Yep.
So we get fatigued of each other. We don't eat the same food, we don't listen to the same music, we don't dress the same.
Right.
None of our cultures are the same, so we get tired of each other. It does cause mental illness, because the scriptures go into how Jacob turned away ways and
Yep.
love. That's a mental illness. Fatigue. Trying to trim your ways against secular society.
Right. Yep. And you're acting unnatural. Knowing you're putting on the front to fit in. And if I could say too, and that's why, when the people that are mixed in amongst the other nations, they live out in the countryside, they actually get along better because there's more space. They don't have to deal with each other as much. But in the city, it's a lot of friction. You got a lot of the biggest races, the Edomites, are in like these bigger cities. New York City and all these other, northeast cities.
Hell yeah. Boston,
Yep.
Massachusetts, different places in Massachusetts. Hell yeah. Can I bring this up?
Uh-huh.
Deuteronomy 28, go back to fatigue. Deuteronomy 28 and 61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon you until thou be destroyed.
Woo!
So yeah, it's a lot of things that happen to our people prior, but it's things that's that's happened to our people that's been unheard of, man. All the sicknesses, the death, how Esau always try to put a name on something, but hey, it's plaguing our people. Hey, you look at the so-called black woman, she's through. The so-called black man, the so-called Hispanic, the so-called Latino. Mental insanity is really going rampant amongst our nation.
Yep.
This is why people are lashing out and crashing out. And it's to the point you can't even help these niggas. Like the scripture says, why stricken down anymore? The only thing you're gonna do is just revolt and get worse, because really, in all actuality, you really want Esau to be a hero, but he's benefiting off of you. Because he's created you.
Yep.
He created that fatigue, that illness. You got it.
Yeah, back in the definition for fatigue, it says weakness in materials, especially metal, caused by repeated variations of stress.
Damn.
And that's our people. And the brother's got a precept, that he's about to bring out going into that. Go ahead, you can bring that under. You got it, bro.
This is Ezekiel chapter 22 and verse 17. It says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, the house of Israel is to me become dross. All they are brass and tin and iron and lead in the midst of the furnace.
Yeah.
They are even the dross of silver."
You got it, bro. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, did not the scripture you said lamentation? How have the gold become dead?
Yeah.
So we were a people that's with gold.
Yep.
And now look at us.
Yep.
It says, verse 19, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because you are all become dross, behold, therefore I will gather you in the midst of Jerusalem, as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace, to blow the fire upon it and melt it."
Yeah. Israel has become a weakened material, a weakened metal. And what do you do with the weakened metals and weakened materials? You burn it.
Right.
You burn it down. You don't do that with the good product,
Right.
the gold, the things that have already been refined. There's no need to do that. You know? You got it.
It says,
Slow, brother. It's like when you go through our daily routine and you're walking, moving around, and you think you're fine until you go to a massage therapist. Exactly. And they start cracking all that stuff with things.
Right.
You know, eat an orange. You think, oh, this is an orange. Eat a real orange. It's a total difference.
Yep.
So the way we are now is completely different from David and his men, Abraham, God, and who. It's way different. It's way different. It's like a complete 180.
Yeah, 180. Yep.
Transformation.
Yep. Well, it told you because of evil, the people have become weaker, or the earth has become weaker.
Yep.
What did I last week?
Yep.
Yeah, consider ye men, and ye less stature than what you were before. That stature goes into more than just physical appearance. When you look at a statue is a memorial, a monument to remember something. So it's like a remembrance of who you were. You're less than who you were.
Right.
I mean, look at the structure of Jake men. You know, look at the obesity rate. Look at how Jake is coming out, and it look like they're lacking a lot of nutrients. Jake they aren't built right like they used to. Men used to be bigger. Men used to have muscles. Jake used to be ripped. You know, Jake had to go to the gym and work out like they have to now.
Right.
But his clothes, the food, the daily stress levels, the drugs, and all sorts of ill mannered shit that happened to us. Look at the homeless person. Look at these new rappers, man. Why they built like that? Shoulders up.
Young boy.
Right. Small
Show
shoulders,
that
shoulders,
back.
Legs.
Yeah, everything funny looking, man.
Yep.
Jake's short. Jake used to be like that, man.
No beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember growing up, young Tony,
Yep.
you know, by accident.
Women in that way,
It was rare to see a obese person, overweight obese person. You know, and they were calling them big bone back then. That's not a thing now. The person would be like a little bigger, but they wouldn't be like obese.
Now, and the fact that Esau gives it light. You know, he gets the worst thing, finds the worst decrepit nigga or bitch, and he gives it the spotlight.
Yep.
So he can basically monetize it,
Yep.
and then make other people, Jake, really, like for instance, you got bitch Scarlett, she ain't really do nothing, but you get what I'm saying. They get niggas with ailments and fucked up body parts,
Yep.
and they make them niggas hot.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Make them
Relatable.
representatives.
Yeah,
Yep.
there you go.
Yeah,
Make
what's
them our
that big-
leaders.
What's that big nigga that keep his shirt
Oh,
on? Big X the plug. You got that song, I'm the biggest, I'm the largest.
Big
He
X.
never got a shirt on. Big
Oh.
titties,
Yeah.
jewelry.
My other guy.
But he's on the forefoot.
Yeah.
You know, he one of the young hot niggas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Black
right,
Coach
you
starter
know.
pack.
Yeah, right, because Esau could have our men that actually are doing something towards their families
Yep.
at the forefront.
Yep.
You know, because there are men that do right by their family. You know, but he doesn't want those.
You're gonna be on the spotlight.
Yep.
That's why, if you as TV, just looking at the TV and the radio, you would just think, they're hard. But this is why Mother Nations come over here and they have that mentality.
Yep.
All these niggas is like this. But what? They see it on TV. Gangland, rap music, TV shows, the real hip hop, bitches fighting each other. This is why we get it back up. But wait, going back to Esau destroyed our image. He got the worst of the worst to, like the brother was bringing out, you know, lead our people.
Yep.
They didn't get well nurtured, well mannered, you know, upright righteousness. A man that has a backbone that stands up for his people, stands up for righteousness. They don't put him on the spotlight. That's why, again, it goes back to what we're bringing out, man. You had to have mental fortitude to be in this, man, because the world goes against this.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a spirit. Because earlier we was at the crib talking. I was telling the bro, if you're not to be elect, you will go crazy. Because this place is designed to make you go crazy. It's a place of punishment. It's a place of oppression, defilement, corruption. Everything's defiled. And when you look at all these bug outs, I see so many bug outs throughout my daily, working and shit, like straight bug outs. And you're like, damn, what got them to that point? Because when you're born, you're just a baby. What got them to that point? The world. The world destroyed you. The only people that are not going to lose their sanity is the elect. Everybody else is completely insane. Brother, your loved ones in the world, they're insane. That's why they deal the way they deal. The world has broken them. The Lord set forth a challenge for his elect to overcome the world. That is John. I have overcome the world. So because almost that's the whole purpose of what they do. He wants to see the overcome his flesh.
Right.
Whose work and of the glory that he's about to bestow on the earth.
So everything is a test. Everything is a fight. Hey, like what the scripture says in what is the 2nd Edges, I think the 7th chapter, it said, what's the condition of men? They shall fight. So it's a battle. Every day you wake up, it's a battle. It's a challenge. You know, that mental fortitude, you gotta have mental fortitude. Okay, you gotta remember, you had more on that?
Yeah, kind of had a couple of minutes.
Brother got to finish his. You finish yours out? Sorry, y'all?
It's a little bit more. It's a little bit
And
more.
then we'll jump to you.
I got one after that.
I'm going to start from the top again. It says, Ezekiel chapter 22 and verse 20, it says, as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin in the midst of the furnace to blow the fire upon it to melt it, so will I gather you in mine anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. Yeah, I will gather.
Hey, the challenges of this world.
Yeah.
Like brothers are going into. If you don't have Yahweh Shah, you're going to fail to.
Facts.
You go be destroyed. Because what the scripture says, what is it, so the 12th chapter, it talks about how, what is it, get bit by a serpent.
Yeah, who will pity a charmer.
Who will pity a charmer.
Yep.
Well, we all, like the brother was going into, when you born in this world, we've all been poisoned by Esau, the serpent. And it's only through Yahweh Bashem Yahushua that he has delivered you from that. He basically gave you an antidote to heal you from that venom. Because you understand, Esau, when you're born first, don't forget the shot that you're given as a little baby. And nowadays, you don't even get breastfed from your mom.
Nope.
You get Similac.
Yep.
You don't even get proper treatment like back then. I remember it was a breastfeeding thing, and moms really would nurture you.
Yep.
Now, nah. The Edomite lady come in, take the child, put on Similac, they inject you, they tell you to go home, and then everything. And remember, our moms wasn't really like the best of the best, but think about it, food was a little bit better.
Yep, it was.
All you're doing is being born now about chemicals, and you get put any chemical in your upbringing. Certainly, that's venomous because the system is rigged for you to fail. Then they move you. You probably don't have a dad, your mother. These new day mothers, we talk about that. Our moms ain't wearing booty shorts growing up.
Hell no.
When we grew up, our mothers weren't wearing booty shorts. These new girls today, they weren't wearing booty shorts. And their little kids are their friends.
Yep.
Esau was wearing booty shorts.
Right.
You know, like the Dukes of Hazzard,
Yep.
Daisy Duke.
Yep. Yep.
They were, yeah.
It's a fact.
Yeah, kind of. Because I remember the women being modest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like wearing dresses and you know, having their arms covered.
Remember,
I remember these things.
remember that whole image of the workout.
Oh yeah, your workout class,
The
yeah.
workout class.
Yeah, the
And then the woman started wearing that attire. I was like, you see that up north a lot.
Yeah.
They had the workout uniform. And they push it on the TV. That's when it. Yep.
Yep.
That's when those clothing really started to get skimpy.
Yep.
I looked at a video about that. How there were trends during the 70s and the 80s that have died out, but then they brought it back in different packages and different forms. And we all been destroyed in this place, man. That's why through Yahweh Shah, we get it right.
That's right.
We got it.
I get it right, you know what I'm saying? They was bringing it out in commercials.
Yeah.
Jordache,
Yep.
beat out Sassoon, you know what I'm saying, and showing a woman's ass.
Yeah.
You know, these are the things that I remember growing up as a kid. You know, showing bra commercials. You know, these were things that really had our people in amazement.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
You know,
Then they put on the movies,
Yeah,
TV shows.
it's little by little. Remember,
Yeah,
remember the Macy's, the JCPenney magazine? You would get those, your mom left that on the counter, you know, you went to the underwear section. Yeah. Shit. Yeah, that was like the mini, the
Soft
start,
porn.
yeah, the start
It's a soft
porn.
porn.
You know what I'm saying? And over the process of gradualism, it you know, slowly and effectively, people started to accept it more and more and be more open to it.
You gotta remember, we still have seen eras where our people had some type of form of class and type of morals. This new generation now, that's the effect that Esau really wanted. That's when the black fatigue is hit. That's when, beginning after civil rights, how Esau, our last stronghold, because we were talking about how our last stronghold of owning houses was the 70s and the 80s. That was with our grandparents. And then how Esau came in after the drugs and all of that. Then they jacked up, they started gentrifying different areas, jacking up personal property taxes. So Esau did all this.
He's very patient. He's a servant. So even when you look at the Quran, he's been recognition. All beauty. He's not in a rush to do something.
Right.
But Jacob, this shit Tyrion. It's just a servant. The Lord, you in his trial. He ain't in no rush.
Right. He ruling.
Why would he be in no rush? He's watching niggas deteriorate every single day. In his eyes.
You see, he has the Illuminati checklist.
Check.
Checks certain, he does certain runs. People fall for it. He does certain trials, surveys, studies. Women don't want to have kids anymore. Check. Families are broken. Check. The men are weak.
Right.
Check.
Social media is the real life.
Check.
Like, bitch, you talk to a bitch, she goes, I told bitch, I don't have social media.
I can't deal with niggas.
Man, go on.
A chick won't talk to you if you don't have an iPhone. If she don't see that blue
Yeah, that's real. Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a
But
fact.
you know what's
That's a
crazy?
fact.
There's a video I sent in the chat. I think I forgot his name. But he pretty much the video stated men hate women, modern women. And it's true. He was breaking it down how what you have to do to just have a regular conversation with a broad. And it's like, yo, the hell with all this. But this is what? Check. Esau checklist. He broke the
gender roles, the division between men and women.
But it's spiritual that you mentioned the check, because ultimately when they look on these social media platforms, they look for that blue check, and once you got that, you verify.
And then also there's a lot of studies they have done out of we understand that like the scripture said this man is wise in the game. So this nigga, I'm talking about Esau, this nigga has things set in place so he can everybody checks in and see what you're into. He said, we got you. They're done. Because they look and see what you're into.
Because if you don't have that blue check, then you're not quote unquote important in today's society.
And then also goes into like the brother we're going to. That can go into what? The social credit score.
Because your algorithm, like I just had to do a new phone because they forced me. I went into my WhatsApp and said this version of WhatsApp is no longer supported. So I had to go get a new phone. And then immediately I got my new phone, the first thing they asked me first was the facial recognition. I said, and then they said, do you want us to follow your web, your browsing it so we can formulate your likes and more. So when your ads pop up on YouTube, it's based off of your searches. The algorithm has built a profile of you. Like the AI is you on your phone. It's you're already on the cloud on your phone. They have you, your likes, your wants, because you're all on your phone. It's designed to you. He just wants to move it to the Quran.
Exactly.
He wants to make it likable, so there won't be no fight for it. You can just take it and then accept it. But he has to break everything down and make everybody separate, miserable, broken,
dependent on the government.
And again, that's why he had to take out, this whole thing, make America great again. He would never make America great again, because the purpose wasn't to make America great. It was to break the American so you can form a new system, new world order. That was it. You're not bringing industries back in, factories here no more to make iPhone. I just saw something pop up. Donald Trump is going to tax tariffs on iPhone if they don't bring it here. That's a joke. That's a joke. They're not bringing anything in.
It says, Ezekiel 22 and verse 21, it says, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and you shall be melted in the midst thereof. As silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall ye be melted in the midst of thereof, and ye shall know that I, the Lord, have poured out my fury upon you.
This is all set up by design for Esau to push this various different things upon the land, upon Jake. And people are tired of it, man. We're seeing the exhaustion. People are exhausted from niggerism, man. You know? People are exhausted from niggerism. So this is all part of Esau's work because now the people are exhausted. Now he can roll in and say, you know what, we got to do something. We got to handle it. He's justifying himself again coming on Jake.
Think about it. Look at it's beautiful. Look at the setup, right? When you go to a lot of these places in America, they were white, so-called white towns, and then Jake got them. Like Richmond. Richmond used to be a black town. It used to be white, and then we went to so-called blacks, and now Esau's moving back in. So now, and we understand these towns, Esau had them, then Jake moved in them, started populating. Esau moved back out. Because you had the red zoning, you had the highways, you had certain towns that were flooded by water. And you had Esau with the step back. Then what did they do to our people? They brought the drugs, the guns, the gangs, all types of strategic plans to destroy our people. Then eventually what happened? They brought the property value down, and they allowed Edomites to slowly come back in these neighborhoods. And now they come in here and say, you know what, black people are the problem. Black people are problems, man. We're sick of these niggas. They're breaking to our shit. They're selling drugs. They're lying. They're loud. They play their music obnoxious. They keep shooting at each other. So now, again, the world is like, yo, niggas are the problem. But really, no actuality, Esau's doing this is Esau's strategic plan.
Get it sex. He said sex. We wouldn't see sex if he didn't go right. Now, mind you, when sexy went to Dubai, my ass had to cover up like a modest woman. But when the sexy comes back to Babylon, get it sexy. Get it sexy. And they put it all over the goddamn. If this man was right, he wouldn't allow sexy to
He would have got rid of her.
It proves that woman, when you got power, you know, a woman will conform, they're gonna change their ways. That's another reason we ain't got a woman because we ain't got that power, bro. She went over there under them. She said, "Oh, they in rules and if I get put together, I don't do this."
No, it's true. It's true because my cousin's wife and his sister went over there, and they from Brooklyn, and they knew how to conform.
Right. They looked at the guidelines. They read the book.
They said, "We hard as hell," but they knew better not to move.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, they have you like that. The nigga woman that, you know, they took her passport from her, locked her ass up, wouldn't let her come back. And she just said something to a low-level man over there in Dubai. I believe it was the guy working at Enterprise. The Enterprise guy. She said something to him, disrespected him. They came. Come with us.
She lucky she had that social media. She had people, oh, this is wrong. She had no social media.
They had to fight for her.
I remember when I was in Bahrain as an M&M, the women couldn't leave the base. The men could leave outside the gate, but the women couldn't leave. The women actually had to stay within the confines of the gate. They could not leave unless they had a male escort.
That's how it was.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Couldn't even drive over there. Women couldn't drive.
Right.
Because again, women are only good amongst men that has a structured society that they are comfortable and safe in. Once you go outside that gate, you're not safe.
They destroy themselves. They destroy themselves through much liberty. Every woman that has liberty has destroyed herself. She has defiled herself with multiple men. She has corrupted her mind. She don't know how to deal with people. She don't know how to hold a meaningful conversation. It's all about. Like I was saying the other day, she's the star of her own movie. You're just a fucking extra. When you get with these women, it's all about them. They complain about shit that they don't want solutions to. You take them out to eat, they prancing around. You gotta open the chair for them. She's sitting down. You gotta treat them like a fucking star in a fucking. They living in their own fucking movie. They're not living in reality. But when you try to bring them to reality, that's when they the Matrix.
Lock me back up. It's a glitch.
Tell a bitch about herself, she start haywire. Put her back in her movie. She wanna be in her movie.
Yeah, I appreciate that too. Name back and all that. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Esau is the source of the problems, man. You know, any IT person that fixes computers or whatever, when there's a troubleshooting issue, they go to the source. You know, majority of our people ain't looking at the source. Why are women allowed to do what they're doing? You know, why everything's out of course? Because it's devil who's ruling the earth. Got everybody mourning.
And like Elder Yashwan was going to Esau is the villain, and then he's the victim. And Esau knows how to play both sides.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
serpent. He know how to demonize shit, mess shit up,
Yep.
and then cause problems. Sweep his
His
track
mess up,
record,
yep.
and then stand like this, like he ain't never did nothing, and then make our people speak about it.
Yep.
They said, "What is wrong with y'all?
Yep.
What are you talking about?"
Right.
I gave you black people jobs. He said, I
Right.
created black jobs.
Right.
You know?
What he say? He created civilization.
Yeah.
Like civilization started with was Alexander the Greek. Well, who was there before Alexander the Greek?
Chuck be talking.
Right.
Fucking
Jobs.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the scriptures cut off and say he was the king of the land of Japan because he took over the land of Japheth. But the scriptures say he speaks with a forked tongue.
Yep.
Forked tongue, so he speaks in two different ways. That's that lamb with the two horns.
Yep.
He speaks two different ways.
Yep.
One way he'll say, I helped you, but behind your back he's advising you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Accused of the brother.
Yep.
Peace in the sword.
Yep.
Republicans and Democrats. The Democrats are saying we're going to help niggas, and Republicans are all the face of not helping niggas.
Yep.
Literally, it's the same
bird.
Yeah.
Different wings. Same bird.
That's Esau's MO, man. You know, when he sold his birthright, he tried to play the victim. You know, he tried to play the victim and go into what the brother was speaking about Esau having patience.
Hey, don't it make sense? Say even if you saw it with tears, that's the victim.
Yep.
Yeah.
He cries about it.
Right.
Yep.
Right. You know, he cried about it. You know, lifted up his voice. Here it is. You sold your birthright.
Right.
You did. Now you trying to play the victim. You know, and going into what the brother was speaking about Esau having patience.
But ain't no but.
Yeah. You know, because Esau is very, very patient. What did he say when, you know, ultimately, you know, he comes to the full realization of what he had done and the ramifications of it? He said when his father's days are at hand, you know, he was going to slay his brother. He didn't just say, you know what? Before we get your ass. You know? So he that was a display of, you know, a trait of Esau, you know, is patience. You know? And then when you look at snakes, when you like your brother was talking about, you know, the serpent and snake, when you look at snakes are very, very patient. They don't just roll up on the enemy and just make a loud commotion. No, they set themselves up in the right particular way. So that's why, you know, most snakes have camouflage, you know, so they can blend with that.
He showed up with a game to Jacob.
Yeah.
Jacob had to stay that little cattle. Right. Because Jacob had worked himself up. He's like, no, I got take this. Nah, it's on deep. That's so that the nigga black culture started. We on demon time, nigga. Yeah, that was that thug shit.
Yeah.
Not backing on what you brothers are bringing out right now. So there's a video out with Donald Trump with the president from Africa. And Donald Trump was going into how, you know, they're doing bad over there and the G word and the world is realizing the hypocrisy of Babylon. You know, this devil speaks with a fourth tongue. You know, he's straight hypocritical.
Well, you know, we know how Esau will set up a gang with him. He'll bribe people. He'll send some damn Hamites from over here and ship them over there. And they cause ruckus. And give them guns, give them money, give them some type of following. And teach them how to be cunning. And then, you know, he caused the problem. See, that's what their leaders cause. Gang, we shut up. No, that's you.
You got this African leader right now. I forgot his name. Something like that. But he's basically teaching his people about how France has defiled their minds and corrupted them and taught them lies, and have just raped their whole resources and economy.
Everybody talks about that. It's funny how you look at how Esau did in the land of Africa, land of Ham, the continents of Africa. It's like, hold on, how the hell did you Hamites let Esau have his way out? That big continent. And Esau, that's his playhouse.
You got people over there, you got a large set of Jacob in Africa that speak Portuguese. Right? They don't speak, so that, because they're conquered by the Portuguese. You know?
Spanish speaking Edomites.
Yeah, that show you that dragon that came out of the bottomless pit, which is Europe. You know, some of them, the English came to us.
Dutch and
the Dutch. You know, you had the Spaniards take over the Northern Kingdom. We all from that same piece. That's why we speak different languages of that piece. Some of us speak Portuguese, some of us speak French. It's French.
Spanish.
Yes, yeah, all of
That's
that. But
crazy.
it's from the same beast. We don't none of us speak Hebrew. But I got this precept because now he's being revealed. This is
And then the other world, in the majority of the world, is being taught what? To speak English.
Yep.
facts. Yeah, when you go on the flight, the main language, regardless of who you are, is English. They
Yep.
don't fuck with you. What nation you from?
Trump just said if you're an immigrant, you don't speak English, you gotta,
Deported.
you can't
Deported.
drive a truck.
Oh.
You can't drive a truck.
Yep.
That's dominant. That's the bottom of the pit dominance.
Yep. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away from, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
It's Esau.
Yep.
And you know, that's why it's so. This man have set himself up as a hero,
Yeah.
but really he's a zero.
Yeah.
That's why it sounds so crazy us talking about it, like we are.
Yeah.
That's why we do sound like terrorists. You sound like the problem,
Right.
but we aren't the problem. It's just how the way this man has manipulated your mind,
That's right.
the thinking that this man's a hero. It goes back to Isaiah 47, that witchcraft.
Right.
You know, again, remember, we always talk about that. What was the Baywatch?
Oh yeah.
He had the great Baywatch show.
Yeah.
All the nice white shows,
Yep.
so-called white shows.
Yep.
Yeah,
Friends.
He had
Seinfeld.
then he had the
Saved by the bell.
Yeah.
come on. Then you got the movies where Esau tried to be a so-called good person to
Yep.
help Jacob.
Yep.
Because of racism. You know,
Especially those school shows.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer and
Always had that Edomite that went behind their people and try to help Jake.
Blind
And then
side.
have our people,
Yeah.
not have our people like this.
Right.
What was it Freedom
You know?
Rider?
Yep.
That's why a lot of people were mad at that Sinners movie. Because it's one of the movies where you don't have Esau don't save the day for Jacob.
Yep.
Like Black Panther had great reviews because the Edomite don't help the
They always do that. They
He
always
was
do
in the
that.
chariot. He in the chariot.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
The barrier to Wakanda. The Edomite. In the chariot. But here it is, Killmonger can't even be accepted.
Right.
He's
His own-
the lineage.
Yep.
He can't be, but this Edomite
Yo,
in the
that
chariot
right.
fighting against
Right.
Jake. That's mental brainwashing, man.
Right.
Yep.
That's mental brainwashing. That's why Killmonger said at the end, I'm feeling it's better to die rather than serve.
Yep.
Got these clean, so what's the nigga? The nigga that
Yeah.
Right. He gets his own
Right.
nigga.
Better than from?
Yep.
Yo, why y'all helping Esau get the vibranium?
Yep. Yep.
You could put from.
And they show y'all.
Yep.
That's why in the second one, Lorna came about and Namor, she was like, yo, y'all ain't keeping no fucking up with that. So they paint off the righteous guy. Look at this, man.
They have a chick that they can right now, white working.
Yep.
They demonize.
Yep. They giving out. He's outnumbered and ostracized. Can you read that again, bro?
Yeah. On 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first,
Yep.
and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Yeah, and son of perdition goes into, I believe, destruction.
Yeah.
So he was created to be the wicked, to destroy things. It was required for him to be revealed before he gets taken down.
Revelation 6.
Revelation 6. And the thing is, too, there's power in his lies. His kingdom was being held up, just like the episode of Martin, when everybody was scared about this dude getting out of prison. He was going to beat Martin's ass or delete him. Come on, he's a midget when he get out. You know, because people, they were deceived. This man's voice is deep on the phone.
What is it? Is this a man that calls
Right,
true?
right.
Yeah, right. It was Gary Cole.
Yeah, Gary Coleman. Yeah.
I remember
That's the thing.
that.
Everybody's starting to see Esau's not not that tough guy. But the Lord is also having these other nations be stronger, have nuclear capability. In the meantime, while he's being revealed, through the Holy Spirit, the Lord's having us expose, Esau, and then his own people who's in the inside.
Yeah, the social media is backfiring on me too, because people are saying that you don't create anything.
He doesn't.
Like the trends on TikTok,
Yep.
all of it's Jake.
Well, you gotta remember what one thing Esau had a stronghold was the newspaper.
Yep.
Because they
The Rothschilds.
say anybody that control the print press
Yep.
or the TV, basically the newspaper, you had power.
Yep.
And look at where he had the printing press, the newspaper, the radio, the TV, and all he showed was his propaganda. So that nigga had the power. Now, since social media, people are really like, oh, if you want to hear anything, you got to listen to the news. Well, everybody now on social media is like the news. That's bringing stuff out. Yo, this man really ain't. Because the news will have you thinking it's only so-called black people doing bad.
Right.
Well, you got people that's making YouTube videos that's showing goddamn LA. Showing Edomites, you know, crashing out. You know, so due to Esau's media, he will have you just think it's Jake is the problem. But in all actuality, people are showing like, yo, these Edomites, ham coming out. Everybody, the whole world.
Yeah, I seen a clip on TikTok. The Edomite chick said, all my fellow white people, I went to black TikTok, and I gotta say, we're fucking dirty. You're supposed to use rags. Like she was getting on their ass. Like guys, I came back from black TikTok, and I want to see we're all fucking dirty.
Because they had a podcast about that. The Edomite lady was like, who takes showers with rags? And you don't need a rag. All you need is soap or whatever. Just wipe it on your body, and they don't wash their hair every day. You know, stuff like that. You know, they don't do a lot of that
the
stuff.
Dave Chappelle episode where they switched the household.
Oh, yeah.
White
He
swap.
said, I'll find out the white people home to go wash my hair.
You can take it.
Whole family.
Whole family.
Caucasian from the cups.
Yep.
You can't take cups.
Hey, that's a video type.
Yeah, that's real.
Almost the next cream you give them.
Hey, right.
Shaving cream.
Joe said
Gel.
they braid the metals. You know, they cover themselves with the bushes.
Even back to how a lot of those Jake talk down south. Those Edomites didn't know how to fucking talk. That's why they do though. I heard one the other day. I don't understand what the fuck he said at my job. Plantation.
Yeah, because that's another thing. What the English that they speak is not the kings.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, all
That's
this.
something you gotta remember. All the Edomites that came to America were the undesirables. They were the low class. All the Edomites that still in Greece and Denmark and northern state over, they're the elite.
That's why they brought them diseases over.
The Edomites that came over here were the low level Edomites. They were the nobility.
They got
The
exiled.
nobility sent them over here. Christopher Colon was a worker.
That's why they in pillage like they did, so they can go bring back their spoils to impress the queen and the king.
That's why Spain and France, all them places, when you can go from there, the places that you
Gad was sold in slavery too. They came over and sent them back over.
Yeah, because Pocahontas died overseas. She got shipped over there and she died over there. She died at like 21, very young age. She's going to get passed away.
But remember we all watched that little Disney movie and they painted a good picture. He was a white man. I'll never forget that movie.
Yeah, they won't make a live action movie of it today.
No. She was, I can't remember the whole thing.
I remember.
Yeah, they
But in the history, she actually was married to one tribal man, right? And he so came and raped the village and took it. So
that's how, but again, Hollywood, they had to paint the picture like it's all beautiful, a love story. It's all bullshit. And that's how Esau does. He paints, he repackage stuff up and make it look like he's the hero. And it's a love story. It feels good. He puts a nice little music behind it. He plays the instrumental. But this man's a devil.
Yeah, the same crew that came with John Smith in the movie when you rewatch it, because I have rewatched it recently. When they stop after they see all the water, the greenery and everything like that, they stop the shit, they get off. They said, we're going to show them how to till this land and everything. We're going to make it perfect. And then he got like a stake and he put a sign on it. And we put the stake and the sign on it, it said Jamestown, Virginia.
Yeah, because you had a lot of history here.
Jamestown, Virginia. I said,
I actually went there before.
I remember watching that shit as a kid. They made me hate the dude that liked Pocahontas that was supposed to. They made me hate him.
And love John.
He was like the opposition to John. He was fighting John, but that broke him. No, he was a fucking devil.
Right. And the movie Sinner showed you that too.
I'm gonna tell you something. Hey, those movies from back in the day, they still have a heavy stronghold on our people. Like the old TV shows, the old movies. Well, think about it. one of the reasons why them girls are messed up, they still believe in that shit.
Yeah.
The Disney fairy tale movies. So that let you know what Esau did really still has a stronger hold on our people. Go back to brother can hold us around 12. Saw that too.
I want to read a little bit more. Verse 4 says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that which is called God or is worship, so that he sitteth as God in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Yeah, he wants the world to worship him. He puts himself up on a pedestal. Everything's about worshiping. Even, his technology, his systems. He's putting himself up as he is the Most High. He's exalting himself, and he wants the world to worship him. But he's just a mortal man. And who else is doing that? The only one that's doing that is Esau. His image, he changed the images. When you look up G-O-D, you see a so-called white man. When you put it in J-E-S-U-S, that's not even the name of our Lord and Savior's name is Yahushua. When you Google J-E-S-U-S, it's a so-called white man. Effeminate looking so-called white man. That's Esau exalting himself. Okay.
Yeah, and ultimately how he wants to sit in the temple is by that Quran.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Because the temple is the body.
Yep.
So
that's right.
The perfect way for him to have total control of their subconscious, which when you watch a lot of these Netflix futuristic shows, they show you exactly what they want to do. Or what's his sadistic dream with the Quran. It's to be able to have transhumanism where he takes the subconscious. Yep. And when they can grow old, they're able to take the subconscious and plant it in the younger vessel. That's their ultimate dream, so they never die. They're able to live for eternity. So he wants to be as the Most High. That's what he wants to achieve. Be able to take his subconscious and put it in the younger vessel. So he never dies.
Yeah. Let's show that and get out. Get out.
Yeah.
Remember that study with their grandfather?
You remember the movie Get Out?
They
They did that.
I remember.
And
That makes sense.
and Get Out, they showed that what you going into. The Jake, it was a grandpa and an older woman. Basically, the ones who owned that house was the grandparents of the younger daughter that brought that Jake to that house. And they were living in those bodies. And then remember when they was doing like the little bingo thing? They were literally doing an auction to see who's gonna be the next vessel for them. And that's when he said black is the new fashion.
Right. That's his goal. That's why when you read about believers in Job, says when he thinks he's about to reach his enterprise, the Lord's right fine. When he can sit down and eat, they're gonna rain. The Lord is not gonna let him achieve that blessing because that blessing is only given to the sons of the Most High.
That's right.
The sons of God. That was only given to the lineage of the sons. You got the sons of wicked, the sons of man, the sons of God. The blessing of immortality was given to the sons of God because they are the sons of God. That's why Yahushua quotes, is it not written in your law that you are God? So why do you marvel when I say I'm the son of God? That's our blessing. So that's why when we talk about the Canaan, all the heathens ain't gonna have immortality because they're not the sons of God. Right. You don't go back to the lineage of Adam, Seth, Enoch, Noah. Right? Where it's going.
No. Yeah, come on, bring it up, bro.
So, I got two definitions. One of them is called organism.
Okay.
Organism, a noun. And the definition is a individual form of life, such as bacterium, protist, fungus, plant, or animal composed of a single cell or a complex cells in which organisms or organs work together to carry out the various process of life. Let me jump down. A system regarded as analogous in a structure or function to a living body. Organic structure or organization. The reason why I bring this out. I got another definition. Parasite. An organism that lives and feeds on or in an organism of a different species causes harm to the host. That's what he's done with the J. That's what he's doing with the MOTB. Because the minute they inject you with it, it actually starts conforming
cancerous.
to your cells. In other words, it'll be hard to get it out.
And see, Esau's done that physically. He's also done it spiritually too, because Esau, his doctrine, his philosophy was a parasite in the minds of our people.
Well, Revelation 13:15.
Yeah.
He called
Right.
he put to death.
Yeah.
Worship his beast.
Yeah.
The system.
I got another definition.
Right, you got it, bro.
What you say?
Jacob be like, well, I could just cut it over. No, the fuck you can't, because even if you had like a splitter, I had a splitter that took years to get, like literally had it for my whole life, because it became part of my flesh. You're not gonna be able to take it over, because your flesh is gonna go away.
Right.
Think about it. Look at when they give it the COVID. You can't take that out.
Right. People try to detox it out.
And see, what people don't understand is
Toxin.
it's deeper than face value. Esau's got concerning his device. He's in the business. We always say this a lot. And over the years, the MOT, the micro C has been out for years.
Yeah, it ain't gonna look like how you think it's
Right. So he's in the business of perfecting it. So when you put that in your body, it literally becomes part of your whole system. You know, and it's basically rewiring your whole brain, where you can't even, think about you can't even develop the mindset or the mind option to be able to even do that.
I remember during the C19 event, they had they called it a chip, but it looked like a green squiggly.
Yeah.
The NaNO particles.
It goes into it.
Yeah.
So that's why the scripture say he will not be able to deceive the elect, because don't think, even Elder Apostle said it, don't think the Quran will look like the chip that's on the that shit old from the His technology.
That's the first model.
It's called micro. His technology get micro. It's Microsoft. Micro gets smaller and smaller as time goes on. Who knows what the shit gonna look like?
Right.
You just gotta know what karma means.
Yeah, hell yeah.
The pricky, the sticky, style sticky. The karat, the sticky of the skin. That way you'll know not to take it, because if not, you'll be deceived by what it is. That's why it's so instrumental of teaching what the Quran is. That's the most important prophecy for us.
Facts.
The servants are coming up against your young show, so if I may bring this out, I posted this yesterday in the chat. Essentially, it's a parasitic fungus. It's controlling the body of a dead insect, looking like a real-life zombie.
Damn.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's Esau. That's
Man.
controlling you, because you're in a dead. For you to take it, you're in a dead state.
Got it.
You're in a mentally dead state. And our people are what? What is it? How you say it?
Susceptible
Susceptible.
or vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
But
Take it.
But that goes back to your whole point of gradualism. Through gradualism, you can break people down mentally to the point where they don't want to fight no more. They don't want to go against the grain. Yeah. The best boxers, they don't just knock you out the first round. They break your ass down and put on the show. You mentally, you running from them after a while.
You fight a very, very technical fight. He knows how to break you down. And make Esau does. He's breaking you down. He's allowing you to cause your own harm, build your own trap, build your own fall. He allows you to think you're liberal, you're in a democratic state, so you think, then he gives you certain trinkets, so you can feel like you're better than everybody. You just go around burning bridges. Then it'd be like, fire.
Yeah, that goes.
And then you stuck with a mansion or your nice little fancy car, and you can't pay for nothing. So then Esau comes back at you.
You know what you got to do.
You know what you got to do, right? You can keep them things. But you know what you got to do. You get what I'm saying? Because the COVID was the perfect test. People would be like, I ain't gonna take it. I ain't gonna take it. Next week later,
I got word. I had
take
a word.
it.
I
got a word.
I need my child.
And we don't know what this devil, for the most part, had in those concoctions. So that very well could be something to facilitate, the micro C.
But think about it. As soon as it go in you, that stuff that you put in for the COVID could activate.
Exactly.
And then it all conforms.
Exactly. Nanotechnology.
Nanobody.
Nanobody.
That shit is formed right up in
Waiting for a radio frequency.
Now they point out who don't got it.
Right.
A crowd of niggas.
Yeah. So, I mean...
Right.
He got the glow. It's a whole movie where the world got bombarded with these seeds that took over your body. And
What is it called? What movie is
The
it?
Who.
I would say Who.
Oh, okay. I
Where,
haven't seen it.
where you know, like if you went to sleep and woke up, the zombie
white movies.
or the entity controls your body, and it can tell who didn't go to sleep, and then it will point at you like,
Damn.
you know, that's what it was like a few years ago.
Yeah.
There's gonna be something the angels are gonna be able to see to mark you with death.
Exactly.
And pass over the ones that, just like in Egypt, you put the blood over your doorpost. The angel of death, which was Yahushua, would pass by you.
Right.
If you have that stuff in you, the angel will mark you the mark. You know, now.
Yeah.
Lil Uzi niggas, that shit over with.
They gonna have that nigga.
There's some niggas that just can't get some
Yeah, they fall down.
The Lord has forsaken them.
They gave him up. Romans 1, 25. Because they serve the preacher, they have the father.
Right.
They serve Esau. So he's gonna allow Esau to, allow them to go into the diverse shit.
Yep.
They're gonna fall for the plans. Like for instance, now it says men shall be with men, and a woman shall be, how you say, be against nature. But the one that's in Yahushua, they still gonna have that, how you say, a natural way and integrity about it. Because we still do like women. But how you can see with men, it's really something this day women. And men, women, the ones that's gonna be, saved, the few that are saved, they're still gonna be endowed by, saved, I mean, like men. But the ones that not, you see it, gone. And they're going to be the one that's going to be subject to what? The MOTV. And they're going to take it. Because, like for instance, I forgot who it was. What are the brothers that sent it? About the robots, man. Well, I think you sent it. You said this is what men have gone to.
Oh, yeah. Shit, like the little sex doll.
Yeah, the sex dolls.
Men are resorting to
We're not getting no goddamn
getting a relationship with robots over a woman.
Yeah.
Actual woman. And I mean, this is what society has come through, by the rulership, of Esau Edom, man. The philosophy to die that serpent in the ear of these women once again, to the point where men don't want to even deal with women.
Yeah, fake vaginas, they can lose. They got the vaginas.
Yeah.
I'm about to get down.
He done playing this whole outing with the toys.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Demons on it, man.
And that's how Esau worship, because when you look at that movie Demolition Man, and they had sex virtues.
yeah.
They were touching each other. He don't want you to engage with each other.
Exactly.
Social distance.
Social
You gotta think. You go back to what you were talking about earlier. When you have your women, your children, that's why they stopped the vigilantes. They stopped men having, how you say? They stopped the act of men basically trying to save what we have from the community.
Oh, like the Robin Hood.
Yeah, but if you get what I'm saying is
Robin Hood. Like they steal from the rich.
Oh, yeah,
give
get
to the poor.
yeah. How you say it? Men will fight for the community. Men will fight for the neighborhood. But since there's no more of that, there's no more honor in being a man. Women are not, pushing their men, being behind their men, and kids are not even kids anymore. So it's like, I don't give a fuck about men. Basically, men are like, man, fuck.
Well, that goes into the exhaustion.
Yeah.
Men are exhausted. That goes into Esau pushing that exhaustion amongst the people, man.
Yeah.
People are exhausted. So when you're exhausted, you're more acceptable to take something.
There you go.
You're exhausted. Oh man, where's some more? Just give it to me. Whatever it is, give it to me now. I'm about to die. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Esau wants the people at the point of exhaustion, so he can present these things, roll out this, roll out that, and they're more acceptable to accepting these things.
Because men ain't, like you said, men are weak. Men are soft as hell. Men don't want to fight. And then Esau gave you women so much power to break a man. Men are like, I'm not buying Bishop coffee.
Right.
I'm done.
I'm
done. I'm not. Fuck this. So
It went from the air, a man would take his whole jacket off when it was raining, laid over the puddle.
Throw it
Laid over the
in
puddle,
the
so who was wiped out?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
song.
Bitch, I don't give you a rose and
Right.
shit.
I was just thinking about you, baby.
Right.
I was just there you go.
Yeah, back in the old, we had the different music genres.
Yeah, Joe
You know,
Desi.
yeah, back, even before that, like, you know, like the
The
blues
Whispers.
and blues and jazz music and all that, you know. Well, Jake made it sound good to get like a woman, to love a woman.
Yeah.
Made that shit sexy. You was more of a man, right?
I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
Lovely Joe.
Right.
Now, shit.
So at the point now, if you ain't talking about booty shaking and this and that, you know what I'm saying, eating ass, women ain't gonna like it.
Right.
You gotta sing and rap about it.
Or doing drugs.
You got chains on.
You got chains on too, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Thrill in your mouth.
Yeah,
Starter
yeah.
pack.
And you only notice if you start dating these bitches. They want you to be like them. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it be a Judah chick. You gotta look like money
them.
bag yo.
You gotta look like them. I know like them niggas.
Boss Man D-Lo.
I know, right?
I know like them niggas.
Boss Man D-Lo was on the
Down
D-Lo
low.
the whole
All
time.
the time.
Boss
God,
man
Like
on
a
the
Transformers.
download.
God.
I got a
damn.
quick one though.
They just exposed that, didn't
Oh,
they?
you bring those out.
Okay, it
That's
goes
another
into
game.
it's for y'all though. It goes into exhaustion. Daniel chapter, I think y'all called for it. Daniel chapter 7 verse 25. It says that he shall speak great words against the Most High and shall wear out the saints of the other side and think to change time and laws.
Man,
So he changed shit up.
Yep.
And if he's trying to wear us out, how much more these regular people
Yep.
that ain't got Yahweh shot?
Yep.
You don't think they're exhausted? They. Hey, what's the old saying in cartoon Bugs Bunny? No, what was it? He said, you can't figure it. Join.
That's what he owned it.
Yeah. That whole line,
He
boy.
said, you can't beat them. Join. That's our people.
I thought you quit.
Fuck them goddamn life.
He said, my mama talking shit. Heard my baby mama talking shit. You goddamn place.
I got two precepts.
They be like,
2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
See, the majority of our people are ignorant
Yeah.
to what's going on around them. You know, they can't receive it. And ultimately, you know, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that can't receive this truth, ultimately you just been rejected by
Yep.
the Lord, man.
Yep.
You know, the reprobate silver.
Remember that old saying? I remember this old Benjamin song. But if you play Together for the Three, K-Job record, he's like, knowledge is key. Knowledge is key. But now, ignorance is key.
Right.
Yeah, they have that saying, ignorance is bliss.
Bliss, yeah.
People rather be ignorant.
Yep.
The scriptures tell them, speak to me smooth things.
Yep.
They want to
Yep.
be ignorant.
Right.
And you learn that after years
Yeah.
of the truth. But they want to be.
Right.
That's why you don't cash your pearls to the swine.
Right.
Because the gift, this is a gift. You know, the scriptures speak about in the gospel how much of a gift this is. The gift of faith, the gift of prophecy, the gift of being able to believe. It's all a gift. It's not of us. And that's why it can be taken away. The candle can be put out. But if you have a gift that you cherish, do you just share it with everybody?
No.
You stingy with this shit.
Yep.
Oh, nigga, this my new gang system. Don't you?
Right.
mushroom snack.
Right.
So
Right.
when they're willingly ignorant, oh no,
That's-
you go to the street.
yeah, that's
I'm not about to keep trying to break down. This is a gift.
Yep.
This is the most precious thing to me in my life. I'm about to try to sit here and try to beg you. Accept this.
Right.
Go to the street.
And- and-
You said, what is that belief? That they don't get it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Romans 3.
Romans 3.
What is something I believe?
You get examples of
Yup.
belief.
Yup. And ignorance isn't bliss. You still got to face reality. And even though you're ignorant doesn't mean it doesn't show you. You're still stressed out. You're still going through the curses like we are.
Yeah.
You know, the scripture say, happy is he that getteth wisdom. We happy, man. And the Lord gave us a spirit, renewed us to keep standing this fight. And they gave up.
Yep, that's where the vices come in and place that. Because one of the fruits of the spirit is temperance, which is self-control.
Yep.
But these people in the world don't have temperance, so they go to their vices when
Yeah.
they're stressed.
Oh, man.
Smoking the blunt,
Yep.
the overindulgence in alcohol.
Examples.
Homosexual
Yep.
activity.
Woo.
They start wanting the women to play with their butthole.
Oh,
Next thing you know, they
Peggy.
you know, next thing you know, they boss man D-Lo. You know, these women are telling you, these men are
Oh, yeah,
having
yeah,
women
yeah.
lick them
Yeah, dominate them and shit like that.
And it's Jake making it cool.
Yup.
Jake's making it like, okay.
Yup.
You look at these
And
things,
take
you be
it
like,
slow.
ain't no way I'm about to listen to a man that's sticking shit in his head.
Right.
Well, here we are.
Right.
You got Hebrew Israelite camp
Yup.
head
Yup.
leaders, and literally they're coming out and saying, yeah, I was doing this and that. And Jake is still like, we still following, we riding by your side,
He
we
called-
still donating. Here's
called
my
himself
cash
a
app.
priest.
That's what the Lord puts.
Man.
He put
He
limits on what
righteous.
you can do. He said no sodomy.
He didn't do it
Because
all.
you have to have limits, or even when it
Right.
comes to sex.
There's wickedness.
It opens doors for
Wickedness, man.
It's like,
It's a vulnerable moment.
Yup.
yeah, it's just
Yup.
like porn, right?
Yup.
You will look at some certain videos. We all human. We all men. You may see certain videos, but they have so many different categories. You start going in different shit, and now you're going in even deeper shit.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
you're in deeper
Yup,
shit.
yup.
Now you're looking at
And then Esau switching up on you.
Yup.
Whole time you ain't know the trade.
Right.
God
Damn.
all type of shit.
Damn.
So that's why you have to have temperance, self-control.
Self-control.
You have to learn when to stop.
Yeah.
You can look at a video. If you're burning brothers, your brothers if you gotta watch a video of a chick, hey, cool, that's your business. But don't overindulge in that
Exactly,
point.
exactly.
But now you look at all type of crazy shit. Now you become obsessed with
Right.
it. Oh, I'm watching
Right. Or don't
Go
There you go deep.
You turn your notifications on.
Yep, you're gonna turn into that weird
Right.
Edomite on the
subscribe to all
job.
the
Right.
You
channels.
subscribe.
Yo, check out all the OnlyFans.
You're a member now.
Hold on, after camp. All right, shalom, brother.
Right.
Shalom, brother.
Run to the bathroom and watch some bestiality or some shit. Yeah, man.
Still in the camp thinking about this shit.
Excuse me, brother. Hey, look at it.
Yo.
That's real though. That's real.
Probably did that shit.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of times you see those fall out, but it be for those reasons. The Lord is seeing this.
Yeah.
He takes the
Yeah.
he knows what that
But if I can say that goes back to Esau's devices, evil schemes, it's so easily accessible. If somebody here got a drug for you, there's a bitch that's willing to do anything, or a nigga willing to do anything. It's all accessible around you.
Because going back to times prior, like going to what you're about, like to get and have access to these things that are so accessible now, and you got to go through a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy. I want to see a woman do this,
Right.
that.
You had to be no
Man,
damn celebrity.
You got to be in some inner circle type,
Hell
you know,
yeah.
to be able, and that
There
can't.
wasn't no internet back
Right.
then.
Yeah.
So you had to go to Hollywood.
Right.
Yeah.
You had to go
You
to
gotta know
LA.
somebody that knows somebody that knows
Yeah.
somebody.
And imagine even before then, you know, like
Yeah.
before Hollywood, man.
Right.
The type of doors you had to go through and, you know, hoops you had to go through, and this shit might have happened every now and then or every so, you know, so you couldn't wait to indulge in that type of wickedness. Well, now Esau just laid it out on the forefront like a
Right.
petri dish.
Right.
It's just all on the table. And anytime you want to grab, just go, hey, I want some ice cream. I want this.
right.
You know, pass me the, can you pass me? It's just right there in front of you.
That bowl is on the fucking
Yeah.
Right.
And Esau wants you just drooling over it, you know? Going back to sinners.
Yeah.
Going
Yep.
back to what is it, Romans, the first and the last verse. It said it's not that our people, what he said, people, basically our people love it so.
Yep, love it so. I got
They
it.
love
You
it.
want it? You
You
want it?
get it, Brother Bashar. And I got some precepts too.
I'm gonna read it for you. Romans 1 and 32. Who knowing the judgment of the Most High, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them.
And that's our people. They love it. They love the society. Let me get. I got two real quick.
Okay, I think you kind of link that up with this because I think you were quoting this one as well. This is Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 31. It says the prophets prophesy falsely and the priests bear rule by their means, and my people love to have it so. And what will ye do in the end thereof?
Yeah, and plus again, remember, Esau has set up niggas like that. That's into that mess and made them cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
He made niggas Diddy.
Yep.
And it's not just Diddy, it's many niggas.
Yeah, if I can add,
Got it.
the nigga Casanat, he got his own streamer university.
Yeah, I was looking at that
So
shit.
now he getting all these YouTuber or streamers
through him.
that's going through the whole college. So now he getting contracts through T-Mobile, giving out phones, all different stuff. This Jake was breaking it down to me at the plantation, but he's going to be that next Diddy, that next
Gatekeeper.
Yep.
gatekeeper
Yep.
that's going to bring all these youngsters, these young niggas on these lives.
Remember that
And
video we
bullshit.
saw. Remember that video we
Yeah.
saw I think like
Going into the industry.
yeah, they're always they're looking for the because they know social streaming is the next
Yeah,
step.
yeah. Right.
So
Right.
now they always sending.
They opened that avenue up.
Yeah,
now.
they're bringing all
Yeah.
them niggas like that.
Right.
That's hot. They got a little commotion
Yeah.
following. And bring them to the house.
Yeah,
He actually got a college,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, that's when you
Damn.
see all those rappers and
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
going to his street.
Yep.
They let him in, and I did a
Yep.
video on him a while back when he did his jail stream. At the end of it, he threw a ball from there.
Yeah.
He just randomly threw a ball from there. So he did some behind the scenes shit. Him and that guy Speed, the young dude Speed, they got this huge following, over 15 million followers.
Yep.
They have this dude to be live and have like 500,000 people watching.
That
him.
shit crazy.
Gifting him.
That shit crazy.
Gifting him,
They
bro.
ain't talking about shit.
You got people
They
making
talking
millions of
about
dollars.
shit.
Man.
They talking about nothing.
You know what those gifts is? When they send the gifts, that's basically them sending money to these people for watching it. So they tell them to do a certain thing, and when they say, chat, what should I do? And they send like roses or certain shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's basically subscriptions to
Yeah.
their live stream. So the more subscriptions that you get, now you're getting a contract through
And
TikTok,
Charleston White spoke about that.
all the other shit, and you're getting paid off of
Yeah,
it.
bro,
He
the
did a
content is falling.
yeah.
Nothing they do is educational. They're not teaching you who you are. They're not teaching you what's the reality of the world. They're not going into the prophecies. They're not going into the real world problems. It's just entertainment and fun.
Exactly.
And that's what he wants to mine at. Distractions.
And like that video you sent me, Corab, of Charleston White, how he was going into how he wanted to get into the door of the streaming world with
Aiden Ross. Yeah.
And Mason, that was when that whole shit came
Yep.
out about that. He was, you know, I don't know, we know the story. But ultimately, he said, you know, he backed out of it because of Jake basically telling him, you know, some Illuminati affiliation type shit. But now he said he made a mistake and he actually wants to go that route, which was being, because we read between the lines. We know what really happened.
What's going on.
You know, and what really was going down, really what they wanted him to do. Because that's where the big money is at. Is in this, that, you know, first they want you to sell out first to get into the streaming world so you can make multi-million dollars every month. But you got, you know, 19, 20-year-olds that make $100 million a year just streaming off of YouTube. Man.
Well, look, well, think about it. These new generations now is saying, I'm not about to work no job.
Yeah.
30 years and 40 years and look like them old niggas at Walmart.
Yeah. What was that video the elder reposted where it was speaking about that guy that went to that it was like a mansion scenario. And it was a whole. He was like a podcaster or a streamer, and he was like went in there and it's like there's a whole bunch of other like
that's what the video I'm talking about. That's the video I'm talking about. Yeah.
And basically they wanted him to do things to make it to the next level in the particular field that he was in. Going into like Esau has opened up another avenue, for you to get into that. I wouldn't even say a Hollywood circle, but that inner circle.
Because remember, nobody watching cable no more. You don't see satellite dishes.
Yeah. True.
You don't see what's the other? There's another one. There's a couple other cable satellite dishes. But you don't have them no more.
Right.
Direct TV, you don't have that no more. The new thing now is internet and streaming.
Remember, streaming used to be illegal.
Hell yeah.
To be streaming.
Right. And when you stream, like you're live, so it's hard for it's hard for it to be monitored. You know what I'm saying? When you think about it.
Yeah, you got this guy, Soul Illuminati. He took a break from, because he was like a conspiracy guy on YouTube. He took a break for like 5 years. He just came back. But he came back on that same time on Twitter. Yeah, these bitches, these niggas sold out. They Twitch banned that nigga the same day. So he put up a video on YouTube like, what the fuck? Yo, I got banned. They were trying to tell him, dude, you can't speak. Because you remember YouTube
used to be open, bro.
No, but conspiracy, Tupac alive, all this shit used to be all type of shit.
Yeah. Aliens.
It used to be all type of shit on YouTube. Now you can't find shit.
Nah, you can't.
Bigfoot, all type of shit.
It used to be hella Tupac alive.
Biggie alive.
You know what I'm saying? All type of shit. They cracked, after C19, they took all that shit down, man. You know, so you think you coming in trying to expose them? No, they gonna shut you down. You gotta get with the program, and that's fine.
Two precepts.
I got one after y'all.
It said, Proverbs 25 and 28, he that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. And we understand, the people, I can hear it, look at it. We people have no discipline all over their spirit. So that and Esau capitalizes off of it.
If I can say too, our people take on that Esau spirit to the Edomite spirit
Hell
because
yeah.
Esau sold his birthright for one morsel of meat. Jake, well, they don't even believe anyway. Jake can't even be patient and wait. Even if you look at a carnal, worldly sense, going through the ranks, working a job and building up, saving things of that nature, Jake ain't on that shit no more, man. Fuck all that work, and I need it now.
Yeah.
But how Esau was acting when his food was being prepared? No, I'll give you my birthright for the food now.
Right.
That's how he raised them, on fast food.
I want it now. Want now.
These niggas will be in the drive-thru. Hurry up!
Right.
It's already fast food. We got that burger inside.
That's a fact, bro.
Take this guy's
That's a
But
fact.
that goes into no self-control. When you look at a
Self-control.
city with no walls, anybody can intrude.
Yeah.
The Lord said his vineyard is in the midst of thorns, and anybody can just come and devour it. So Esau has came and intruded the minds of our people. Yeah, intruded their vessel. But if you put that blockage up, which is the spirit, he can't intrude. You know that shit. We can look at the falling and be like, okay, this is falling.
Yep.
Nigga in the world looking at it. You become hypnotized by cartoons when the eyes are
Yeah, black and white spiral and shit.
What was the scripture say? Basically going into what you were saying, if a man who is ruled himself by the spirit, he would discern evil thoughts. He would discern evil thoughts that come in. But a nigga, they don't let that do something. Be evil as hell or wicked as hell. Or against the, but it sounds good to him.
Yeah, because you are what you consume. Your subconscious, your mind, your spirit takes in what it consumes.
Like the scripture says, it's not what coming out of man that defiled the man, but comes into him. And then he consumes you. If you don't have no filter, you won't let it actually go in. You're going to start thinking about it, you're going to start dwelling on it, you're going to start liking it. And then what does the character do? You start like the scripture said, a man's face shows what he is.
Woo! If you're looking at Lil Uzi all day, every day of your life, like, come on with sweatshirts and pink dread.
That's all them radios.
It's mine, it's on Lil Uzi.
Right.
You're on your phone.
Yeah, you're going to get piercings on your face.
Start dancing weird and funny.
You look at YNs all day, you're going to be coming
YNs.
YNs, ski bags, sagging them tight, you a pistol, about to shoot yourself in the thigh. You know, Crocs on.
Right.
Sweatshirt on,
A hoodie in the summer.
in the summer.
Oh, the little man bag.
I know, right?
They become what they consume. We've become prophets of the Lord because we consume the spirit, we consume the truth. This is what we consume on a daily basis.
Right.
We're washed by the word.
That's
Scripture
right.
say our righteousness as filthy rags. So we make sure even though we're amongst the filth, we wash ourselves daily.
That's
through the
right.
word. That's what separates us from y'all. We
Right.
have made ourselves white through the spirit. Yeah, we're wicked just like y'all, but we wash ourselves.
Yup.
That's the
Right.
difference.
Right.
We don't just come to the Lord dirty and say, accept me as I am. No, you gotta wash yourself. You gotta watch the elders videos. You gotta be tuned in to them.
That's right.
You gotta make sure you're working on yourself.
Psalm 119, how they began cleaning the way by the scriptures. I'll get this real quick. Galatians 5:19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft.
Lasciviousness means unbridled lust.
Yep.
Unbridled lust.
And you don't have no control over that. And you're
Doing
doomed.
anything.
You're doomed, man.
Yep.
You'll blow $1 million.
Hell yeah.
As soon as you get it.
Yeah.
Right. Look at the drugs.
In the strip club,
Yeah.
5-star hotels, like this car, like this man's
It never fulfilled. It never fulfilled.
Then after you get the car, after you put the money, you gotta sell the car.
Yep.
You get rid of it because you can't pay the taxes.
Right.
Oh, I want that chick. Oh, I want that chick.
Right.
Oh, shit, I want that chick. Oh, look at her waist. Oh, look at her face.
It never stops. It never stops. It will never end. You have to say at some point, no.
Yeah, exactly.
That comes in self-control.
Yep.
And what's that, what is that Spike Lee movie? He said, wake.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
School days.
yeah.
Bring the bill.
Jake don't even understand what that means.
It's like a beat.
They think you're literally waking up. Yeah. It says, verse 20, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, rebellings, and such like, of the which I told you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh.
That sounds like a verb. Those are actions.
Yep.
That you have to perform.
Yep.
You know, it's one thing when you think about it, but you have to think about it to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And where have we learned these things from? We see our peers, our surroundings, the TV. Like what I can't say about what old boy that's
Anton Davis.
Nah. Listen.
Talk some way.
Nah, they used to do that. They look like Malcolm X. It sound like Malcolm X.
You know what?
Nah.
Oh, you talking about
You know my
Young
Middle
Heat?
Nation.
Yeah, okay.
He said,
Brother X?
This is long.
nah, not
Oh,
him.
yeah, I thought
He
so.
said some good shit too, but nah.
Oh, I know you're talking about. He was on Cam Newton show.
Oh, you talking about the flower one, the one up when the flower with
Oh,
the
he got a wavy hair.
No.
There's a couple of them out right there.
He doesn't look like an Edomite, but he's a Ishmael.
Oh, you
Middle
talking?
Nation.
Yeah, he be sitting down on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sound like
Yeah.
Malcolm X.
He
He
don't
said,
look like he sound like. Yep.
he said,
I see.
damn, he said, I forgot.
He be going in.
Yeah, he does. He basically
Elder
said,
Malcolm does a lot of stuff like that.
yeah. I watched the video, man. But he basically said, roughly paraphrasing, he basically said, all the people in the West do is consume violence.
Yep.
Then Esau demonizes them
Yep.
when they act out of it.
Yep.
But how can you demonize a people? That's what you
That's
promote.
eating what you feed them.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, and then when they eventually crash out,
Yeah.
oh, it's a problem now.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yep.
And that goes back to this wild, wild west.
Yep.
Oh, it's what you
That shit goes way back. That goes way back.
Oh, that was it.
I'd appreciate
I
it.
got to too. This is 1 Timothy 6:9 in the NLT. It reads, but people who long to be rich fall into temptation and are trapped by many foolish and harmful desires.
And that's why you gotta be careful of, you know, when you see examples of people in the world, when they get money, they already didn't have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. They come
Right.
across all this money, they hit the lottery, and they just wild out.
Turn into a super
A
nigga.
super demon,
Right.
and they say too, having money really enhances who you really are.
Exactly.
If you're really a demon, if you're on nigga time, you really gonna be on a whole nother level when you get access to whatever you want.
Right.
But if you, like, for example, a brother get money coming to the truth and he's very charitable, he really gonna be charitable when he get that money.
Right.
Yeah, brother love.
Brother
He got
Love.
that. Brother love. Did it? He got that
Oh,
money.
yeah.
He said, yeah, it's go time.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey,
Unbridled lust.
Yep.
Bring the oil.
hey, no,
Big
him
oil.
and Biggie was serious about that party bullshit. That nigga Diddy at the end of the 60s.
Uh-huh.
That bullshit.
Mm.
It makes sense. Party and bullshit.
That's a man with unbridled lust. There's no, he's insatiable. He
Yep.
can't be satisfied. He needs more and more and
Yep.
more, and he has to do more and more
Yep.
and more to be satisfied.
And,
Add more men.
yep. And that tells you he has a history or a upbringing of issues that just came out when he got the money and the power, because he took it out on the people.
Charles Davis.
Clyde Davis.
Clyde
Yeah,
Davis.
Clyde Davis
He
groomed
groomed
him.
him.
So
He
like
groomed him.
Clyde Davis, the things that you know Diddy had to, you know, basically was, you know, trying to force upon people this
Yep.
and that, so forth. He had to go through those
He had to go
things,
through,
man.
yep.
You know, and that's a tactic that, you know, is used in Hollywood for you to like hate yourself.
Yep.
You got to go through this, and you're gonna hate yourself to the point that you ain't, you know, now you become the gatekeeper. You want to corrupt other people. Yeah, you want to corrupt other people,
Yep.
right? Because you hate yourself so
Yep.
much for what has happened to you
Yep.
and what has been done for you, and ultimately you allowed it to happen. You signed on the dotted line. You said okay. You were a willing participant.
Yep.
So now you're like, I gotta do this. I want to corrupt everything. You know.
Yep.
So and this is, you know, Esau putting the bottle to Jake's lips, because Esau, even in the background, he influences this type of behavior. You know, and Esau has studied how to be, you know, perfectly wicked. You know, so he knows how to do this to a T. He crosses his I's and dots his T's. Man. You know, and what Jake doesn't understand, that, you know, Esau Edom has power, you know, concerning these wicked elites. They have power on the left-hand side.
Yep.
You know, it's more than just a man and you know, in a suit and a tie and in a building. You know, it's deeper than that. They don't understand, you know, that the spiritual aspect of things. They don't understand that this devil, gets instructions from the spiritual demon Satan.
Right.
You know?
Bring this up real quick.
Con.
Proverbs 32, 16 to 32. I'm gonna get it in NIV and the KJV. It says Proverbs 16:32. This is NIV. Better a patient person than a worldly one with self-control than one who takes a city. This is the KJV. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. He that moves in spirit, he that taketh a city.
And that's the beauty of being this truth too. It teaches you patience and the importance of waiting and processing things before you make a decision, crash out. And we were talking about that before camp. You got men who crash out and just destroyed everything, man. Family relying on you, depending on you, and you making a dumbass decision.
It's like that nigga in Chicago.
Yep.
Nigga, he was off, but my man, you not know where you at? He dude that's his chick.
He gonna get up and call.
Get a car.
And you looking up and down his girl, you looking him up and looking at his girl.
He didn't even just shoot him multiple times.
Yeah.
He went back.
Yeah.
And shot, I mean, it's bad enough he shot him. Just a shooter. He go back. Come on.
Yep.
And then your girl all out rape, she drive off all crazy.
She about to leave you.
Yeah. There you go. Then y'all did that. Then y'all drove off. So I mean, y'all fucking. He's gone. I think he's about to serve life.
Oh yeah.
Etc. You know. And now you about to be around a bunch of men. You might become a girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's another thing. You're under. Let me watch Chirac. Some Chirac videos how you're under the big brother's era. You can't do nothing. He sees everything.
Everything.
This nigga follow. This is rapper FBG Joe. Beefing with Kane Bond. He was shopping in the
wealthiest,
of Chicago. Broad daylight.
Yep.
These niggas come from O Block. These young YNs
He
come
got
from
video
O Block.
all there.
He has cameras watching these niggas hopping their coffee, O Block, following them on the interstate. Cameras on the interstate, following them on exits, following them till they get to the point.
He's recording the whole world.
Back to the,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
has cameras in the apartments of O Block, watching these niggas on poster. Literally watch these niggas on shit.
And it's good vision, it's clear. And then that's how they know the chick was involved because they got hurt. These cameras are far apart now. They zoom in, they see the chick, they bypass the chick. Like, okay, they just let us know. They go in and take care of him. But all that shit, like you said from the beginning, they see him coming down the stairs, the project stairs. They link up, like, what we gonna do? They scrambling, moving around, getting in the cars, another dude getting another car. I'm like, damn.
He saw cameras.
He's like a movie.
I'm looking like, yo,
You say, oh, he got cameras at the red line, he got cameras. This nigga has cameras even in the
project. Yes.
And even if he didn't want to pick them up with those particular cameras, he's got the satellites.
Yep.
All he got to do is hit the rewind button.
Yep.
According to rewind, he's recording the whole
earth.
earth.
Ping your shit.
Yeah.
And they let murders go. Like they won't just arrest everything. They only want to take down certain crews and certain men that they think can tell and take down the top guy. Like they won't just lock up every single chick that does something out there. They'll let the shit go on. They want them to murder each other.
They want this shit to fest.
Yeah, if Esau really wanted to, it wouldn't be no fucking crap. Time break. He has control of this whole shit.
That reminds me of what's his name? Freeway Ricky.
Yep.
When he said when they set him up, he was so large that when he first began, they had like little nines and little shit. And he said all of a sudden, you got little young dudes with big ass guns. Like where the fuck did they get these? Where did they get these guns? And that's when the robberies started happening. Robberies and all types of stuff. So they had to go get, basically Esau fessed up that bullshit. And again, like the brother was going into. See, Esau knows how to take one nigga, take a couple of niggas, they tell them each other. They know how to make they know how to put. Cause I even heard this from the horse's mouth. When I was doing security, they know how to put you in the seat of the car, ride you around the hood, and make it look like you're snitching, and then they'll just let you out.
Put you on your
Because you either gonna tell me, or I got other ways to get rid of you, and you already know how your people are. So I need something. And so I'm just like, yo.
Mind games.
He was basically breaking it down. He said, I'll never forget this. He said, oh, don't let me know what girl you're dating. all I got to do is just follow you. And when you talk to another girl, I'm going to take a picture of you. And then I'm going to go to your girl and say, hey, where's such and such? Oh, well, I see him. Oh, you don't know where he at? Well, I did see him with a girl. And she said, that girl used to tell everything.
They show you that in the wire, how you saw the fans down in the car, buy drugs and shit. But he working for the fans. Like they sing us to survey the whole crew, survey the whole area.
Same way they did with them ties.
Oh, that's T-Top.
That's CJ right there.
Yeah, have him put on the
No,
certain hat.
everybody that's put on the hat. That's him. That's the main guy. They know everything.
That's how they were able to infiltrate the mafia.
Yeah.
Now you got to think about it. If they took down the Italians, if you know they were Jakes, how much money Nico brings? They ain't got no structure. They got no power. You know. So I just let you know. Esau does breaking, changing, monitoring. He can stop the crime, but he capitalizes off it. It brings the value down. Like you said, the value. Where do you think he learned that shit from? TV.
That's why Esau has the all-seeing eye as his emblem.
Yep.
He wants to let you know I see all. Because really, he wants to be like the Most High. He sees majority of the shit that goes on in this world, man.
That nigga didn't know about that nigga's a fake ass Grandmaster Caz. That nigga's still stuck in the 80s.
Oh, yeah,
I got a precept too.
It's even more intricate now because of the 5G towers, the 6G that's about to be built.
Oh, shit, man.
Everything is just ready for the market to be system.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Social credits for total control of
It's
Very
whole
left is what I had.
He gonna be able to dump. Oh, you ate a burger today?
Right.
He supposed to be eating bug.
Right. Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Where your bug juice at?
Hey.
What you eating, man? Where your bug juice at?
Too many carpets.
I did it.
He said, I didn't ration that out today.
You had your bug juice today?
Make it.
Here's what I got left.
He said, huh? I didn't ration out that. I portion it out today. With deducting your points.
Yep.
Now you can't. You got to stay in the house for a couple of days.
They
You're
showed me in that
grounded.
movie Time with Justin Timberlake. How everybody had a certain amount of time on their wrist. The broke niggas might have had 5 minutes. Once your time go out, you die. But let's say you need a coffee. 3 minutes for a coffee. Now you got 2 minutes till you die. So you gotta wait till you go to work, get some more minutes on your wrist. But the rich niggas have
5 million minutes. 10 million minutes.
Well, think about it. There's going to be a class system. You know it's going to be a class system. It's going to be Jake. Whatever, Esau got planned for Jake, it ain't going to be nice. Because look at, it's going to change. Because think about it. How they're building like they're building, and then they're tearing down the projects, and they're tearing down section, they're ready to give rid of section 8. Food stamp.
Yep.
So where do you think the new system's going to come?
Universal income.
And think about it. You got all these homes that they're saying that 700,000. The rent is going to be what, $2,000, $4,000, $4,000 for these laws and one single studio bedroom apartment. Who the fuck can afford that? Where the jobs at? So they can let you know if you ain't got. And we already know how Esau had gotten down with the Section 8. He's white out of working class. Nobody wants to be. Work. Well, Esau gonna take care of it. He's gonna give you some treasure. Yep. But there's gonna be a system set up where you have to do certain things to receive it and keep it.
Yep.
You gotta fall in line.
I
got a precept. Okay, go ahead.
This is the definition here. Universal income meaning, it says UBI is a social welfare proposal where all citizens receive a regular, unconditional cash payment regardless of their income or employment status. It aims to provide...
The snippet of that was, what did they do for
Trump dollars during CVID?
No, not even that. Not even that. Not even that. Look at how Section 8 and wiped out. Well, we won't go back to New York. Look at how the niggas, the people in New York live. They have their entertainment. They don't have to leave their borough.
Yep.
They get their Section 8. They get their food stores.
Yep.
They got their food stores, their food shops, and they got their entertainment.
Their 15-minute cities.
They've got their 15-minute cities.
Yep.
And listen,
She's still up.
And they all niggas, they fall in line.
Yep.
They might do a little nigga shit, but,
Yep.
but them niggas do the same shit.
Yep.
So that's the mindset. So they had experienced that.
Yep.
They experimented on that.
Yep.
So, man, Edinburgh, Jersey, Philly,
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore,
Yep.
Richmond. You just get these niggas some income. We ain't really gotta worry about no good. But we can stop that crime. We can stop certain things amongst them. We just put a monitoring
Yep.
and put a social
Some
media
money.
score. And them, you know.
As
Yep.
furthers Esau's control. Like
Yeah.
the scripture said, gift destroys the heart.
Yep.
That's Esau's more influence.
And he
Upon
gonna give everybody. Cause then I think about Cuba. Everybody is no homelessness in Cuba. Everybody has a portion they can get. Everything is basically rationed out.
Yep.
You go at this certain time, you can go get your food, your meats, your vegetables, whatever. And they allow certain people to do certain things with the food stand, whatever. Best believe you might have certain Edomites that have businesses, whatever. But best believe they're gonna be underneath that system. But everybody they're gonna present this new society as we were trying to help. Cause remember how Trump demonized all the governments now. The government's wicked, corrupt. Everything is falling. I'm trying to bring. Well, that new system is what communism.
Yep.
What America always trying to demonize.
Butter it up.
Because they demonize China, demonize Russia,
Yep.
North Korea, Cuba. All of a sudden, isn't it might be funny? It looked like communism was coming here, so you don't own them.
Right.
You don't put nothing in your car, your registration. That thing on the insurance, but you can't drive your car. You can't really do. If you don't have no registration, you don't do nothing.
Yep.
Sounds like communism, you know?
We the papers and shit.
Yeah. That's for like years.
That's what's coming.
How can you identify? Everything is a number.
Yep.
The growth is on this one.
At all.
Growth is on this one.
Right. They don't go to work in the morning. Right.
They have.
And when they put the object in, you're gonna have ownership.
Yep.
And you're gonna keep them up. You're gonna keep them sufficient. And basically, it's gonna be their playhouse. Yeah, you are.
Let's start local airplane flights.
Yeah, realize
You have to have
you can't move. And then look at how they're going to start causing rivalries and a lot of different stuff that happen, bank failures and all this stuff. They're bringing this new system. It's going to be a controlled collapse.
Yep.
But you're going to have to bring in a new system. But then like I always been saying, because I work for a company where I get to see a lot of new developments. And I'm like, yo, who the fuck is moving these shit? There's no money, there's no jobs here. It has to be the damn. Well, we know it's that system.
Yep. Universal basic income. Is a
Hey,
so-
remember, Slacky. Remember they showed it off on. Remember the other country that America deals with. What is that called? Section A government.
Foreign aid.
Foreign
Yep.
aid.
Foreign aid, yeah.
They take care of the people as long as you down with
Confined,
without confined, without God push my democracy, whatever. We'll give you the one. We'll give you the funders. We'll make sure you're good. So these are test runs because what? Those are poor people. Section 8, poor people. So-called poor people. But the thing about it is that's the biggest test run. Remember, them other countries is only rich and poor. There's no middle class.
class, yeah.
Only middle class is America.
Yep. And when they wiping that out.
That is gone.
Yep.
That's gone.
Yep.
Ain't no middle class here.
Yep.
That's where you got it. You got the rich and the poor.
Yep.
Yeah, because it goes back to the scriptures, Revelation 13. Free and bond, rich and poor.
Yep. And it's in the middle class in that.
That's good.
I know,
It
right?
won't no middle class in that.
Right. Right.
Hey, they didn't say middle class.
Right.
They said rich or poor. Nigga.
And remember, the ones that got the class that's higher up there, they're going to be juiced in. Who's up there? Esau. And Esau can play the little victim. Because you're going to have these Edomites that's, again, if you see things, the 15-minute cities happening, these Edomites moving back into the cities. it's going to be a new system, man.
Yeah, Colin, if I may, Esau also wants to consolidate the people to a specific coast. They don't want anybody in the middle of America because that's where the ultra elites plan on it.
Kill Gates. The homestead, the farming, that's where they can grow the GMO. They can feed you. They can ration out a portion what they want to give out to the people. But really, when you really go into the Midwest in them areas, it's populated, but it's not populated like that. It's already spread out. You go to Nebraska, North Dakota, something there, Idaho, places like that. And so I'm places out,
Yeah, right. And then they got the nerve to say the earth is overpopulated.
Yeah. And that's bullshit because the earth, you would go to places where the earth is not the green, it's yellow. When he sold the stores, the earth, he pollutes the earth, he corrupts the earth, right? And he crowds everybody, like you can speak the earth, he crowds everybody into these cities for his benefit to have more control, accessible to see what's going on.
Look at how
Mega cities.
Smart cities, which is planned, which we look at them fires that was happening last year on the West Coast, and the people brought it out, how he's building a whole smart railroad that he wants finished by the next Olympics in a couple years. This shit's supposed to be like a whole nother type of speed. When you zoom by, but there's supposed to be a whole smart city, that whole area where all those wildfires are.
think about it too. So you go most really, you go to like places New York, Massachusetts. I want to say maybe Florida. You got people that got some little bit of money. So what I'm saying is you got like Kevin Samuels said the high value men, super high value men. New York.
I know, right?
Think about it. When you go into all the other towns, Florida, or maybe Chicago, when you go to the other little rural states, it's poverty. It's poverty. Ain't nobody rich. Everybody lives below what 40, 50. You got your little sporadics there, make a little bit or something. But basically, my point is, everybody in America is broke. Ain't nobody got no money. The only people you really hear that got money are people in New York, Cali, Texas, and Florida, and then Chicago, them great big cities. That's it. When you go everywhere else, man, you got what, 50 states in America? Only what, 4 is populated with people that got money? The rest is poor. That's why so there got to be a new system that's ushered in. Because the system that's out now is messed up. Everybody's on drugs. I watched a documentary about Nebraska. Not Nebraska. I believe it was Nebraska, one of those states. It's a bad
epidemic.
On drugs.
Epidemic.
Bad one.
North Dakota,
Bad, messed up. All of them, man.
Yeah.
Look at it, man.
But that's what Esau known for. He's known for creating epidemics, whether it be for drugs, homo, and all these other different things.
You can look at a state like West Virginia, poverty. They look like a land before it's stuck in time.
Feminism.
And that's what a lot of these places look like. Like, what the hell? This is not what I saw on TV. This is not what I see on the movies. This is not what the TV shows I see. That's that picture. That's that illusion. But when you really go throughout America, like it shocked the shit out of me when I looked at all those prostitution in Cali. That shit, it shocked the hell out of me. All them girls walking around butt ass naked in LA. Figaro, whatever. Fifth Street, whatever.
Yeah. Selling this.
I'm like, damn. But you would never.
Not bad looking.
A lot of them look good as hell. You would never have known that unless, again, going back to social media and YouTube, man. Because the news ain't showing that.
Yeah, it's like in those movies and shows, and they do like a little rewind, and they scratch their eyes, and then they wake up to like what's the reality?
What's really going on?
Yeah, but when they see it in the dream, it looks so marvelous and everything like that, and then they wake up and so like, oh my God, you ain't gonna believe what I saw. And the whole time they come to the reality of what America is, this bitter ass place.
Yep. And that's why the people say people say they gotta go to see, but not really go to. And plus, you're seeing people are going to start really not giving a damn about their government. But from paraphrasing,
I got a precept.
Because a lot of people are waking up to the coffee and seeing they've been getting fucked over. You got it dog.
This is Proverbs 15 and 14. You know, going into what the brother Abaya was speaking about concerning, you know, the consumption of our people, you know, and how, the men that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you know, also, you know, I'll say the elect, you know, the elect of the nation of Israel, you know, their consumption is going to be different than the rest of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. This is Proverbs 15 and 14. It says, the heart of him that hath understanding seeketh knowledge, but the mouth of fools feedeth on foolishness. You know, and the majority of our people, they feed it on foolishness.
Circus.
Yeah,
the circus.
Yeah, they feed on the bullshit that Esau lays out to them, and they've consumed it over and over again to when they want more, to what they have, to what's before them on the plate is not enough no more, man.
Right.
They have an insatiable desire.
That's why he was talking plank. That's why, like the scripture says, in the time of Noah, they were building and drinking, and married, because that's really all the people want. They want to go back to that good old American, the 1970s.
Their body has gotten acclimatized or acclimated to the consumption. It needs another level now. It's like you taking a drug, you can't just I just drink one beer every day. No, after a while that one beer's like nothing. I'm still normal. Hold on, I need two. I need three.
Liquor.
You know? And then they just, so
and you know what alcohol you can't just stop.
Cold turkey, right.
Or heroin.
Right. And that's with any drug, you know what I'm saying? You know, after a while, you need more and more and more. And this is where we're at, you know. Esau is, hey, man, I got it. You need it, I got it. You know what I'm saying?
And to prove his consumption is, the Lord says, he will sup with you, so it's supper. You know, we consume with the Lord. You know, we eat the whole roll.
Right, right.
We consume, but like you said, they feed it on folly. And they willingly do it. They know it's bullshit. Because you'll tell them, man, you listen to that shit, man. I want to hear the nigga shit. I want to be like these niggas at some TV. I don't want to be like you.
Right.
I ain't getting no money wearing no fucking garment.
Right.
I ain't getting no money teaching the Bible, nigga. I ain't getting no hoes teaching the Bible. I want hoes. I want money. Right. I want to look cool out here.
Yeah.
I want to be out here standing with no fucking garment on, being broke.
Right.
I want to get to this bag, nigga.
Right.
That's what they want.
That's that wine in that golden cup.
I can bring this up. 1 John 2 and 15. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
It's a little off, and there's nothing wrong with that spirit that Jake has because we all royalty.
Yes.
In our natural state, we all royalty. But Jake has forgotten they're in debt to the Lord. So you have to pay a debt. What we're doing right now is a debt that we owe. Right? It's our reasonable service. And if you don't come on this side and pay your debt, the Lord is still going to require your blood anyway because you're in debt. So he's either going to kill you and require your blood, or he's going to cause you to serve him. This will give your body a living sacrifice to the Lord. But you're in debt. You can want to have women, you can want to have glory, you can want to have money. But you're in debt to the Lord right now. You got to serve the Lord first. Man.
Yeah, they do that in other countries. You got to serve in a military before you get any type of inheritance or establish yourself within that country. You have to do your 4 to 6 years. Like when they said, like, we have no choice. Either they gonna send your ass or you do it voluntarily. But either way, you still gotta serve if you wanna be important in society.
That's why the scripture says, you gotta sacrifice that body. You gotta remember,
Romans 12:1.
this is not about us.
That's that reasonable service.
It's about Yahweh Shem Shah because we went off. So the Lord put us here to serve captivity and be in bondage. And like the brother said, Zaquan said, to pay off that debt. So it's not about us, man. I mean, we want these things, but we got to go, Yahweh Shem Shah has to get his glory before we get ours. Because, Yahweh Shem Shah, he's the beginning, he's the power of all things. He's always been there. We fell. You know? Right. So he has to get his glory because he made us for his name's sake. You know?
Yeah, right. You know, you say that in the scriptures. You died for his sins first, and then the nation.
He understood he had a debt. That's why when he came as a lamb When he came as a man, but he rode on a donkey, they tried to crown him. He said, it's not my time. Take the show off. Yes, he is the king, but he has a debt to pay. Yes, with God, yes, with the king, but you should die like men.
You got a debt to pay like you should. With God, you got a debt to pay right now. It's not for us to shine. And that's what Jacob failed to realize. It's not your time to have all these damn women and have wives and kids and you trying to get the bag.
You in the truth with 5 women.
You can't take care of 5 women, bro.
They can't even do that on a carnal level with the.
And
with
not
the,
in a righteous order.
Yeah.
We ain't talking about you basically just, I got a chick over there and I chick over there.
Yeah.
No, man. You cannot take care of 5 women under
Right.
one household and raise them to be Hebrew Israelites. You can't do it.
They can't even do that if someone who's concentrated and focused on a particular goal or a particular objective. You professional basketball player, you trying to win the championship. You can't have all these distractions around.
You can't.
So how much more being in this truth, man?
Yeah.
You know?
That's why the scripture said if you a bishop, have one.
Right.
one
Exactly.
Paul was to the point, he said, don't
even
be
do
like
none.
me. Don't have none.
And we understand that.
Have one.
Yeah.
Because you ain't in the time.
Right.
Woo. And that's where wisdom comes into play. They come in the truth and think they can, just because it's lawful, that it's expedient. Everything that's lawful is not expedient.
I got sister wives, brother. Eat me, brother. Fruitful and multiply, brother. You in the wrong spirit.
I got a precept right quick. Ecclesiastes 3:1.
Not content with the newest shit.
Right.
Not content with what they got.
Newest car. I see Jake in the job pull up in the new shit.
I got the shit on these niggas.
Right.
I'm a king.
Where your throne?
Right.
Where your scepter?
Where your power?
The scripture said if you desire thrones and scepters, require wisdom. You niggas don't like wisdom. But you talking about king. You ain't got no kingdom.
Right.
Ain't got no
He's
guards,
so
no hoes.
Right.
Yeah. Servant. Right.
You gotta be real with Jake, man.
Damn sure ain't got no power.
Jake don't have no servants.
Right.
The servant that he should have is totally against him.
He ain't got a concubine. He's a king.
And that reminds me of these niggas in the world that don't like to hear that they were once slaves because it makes them feel good.
We ain't back there no more. You putting us low though. You making us feel like they over us.
No, that's the reality. You're a slave to this thing. The only way you can overcome is to face reality, man. We're under subjection under the Edomites.
Right.
You can't overcome that if you don't come to that realization.
They would make you look stupid out here.
Yeah, you a god. You're all these Muslims, we gods. Okay, we change the current structure of the world right now.
Right.
Make our Wakanda, nigga.
Right.
What's
Right.
really funny, he used to say, really funny, that's what funny he said, all these black people, all these mega names. He said, Sir this, King this,
Right.
King Tut this. That shit was funny as hell, man. But hey, Jake would have that. I got a long ass Hebrew name.
Yep.
You know, Kenite, African niggas, they got this whole great
Elaborate name. Yeah.
Ra this and that, great, yeah, what? You got this, what you got like that nigga? Yeah, shock out, bro.
I ain't got no problem with folks. I ain't got no problem.
But nigga, you in a
nigga
small,
had a V-neck.
But you
Hey,
in
yo,
a,
that
but
nigga
you
had
in
a
small square feet apartment.
Hey, yo, that nigga had a U-neck, bro.
Yeah,
He took his
You in a small square footage apartment up north. With all the great Egyptians. Get the fuck.
Hey, the nigga had a U-neck on,
Meanwhile, you
bro.
fly to Egypt, you gotta go to board and check through.
Come on.
Nigga, what's in his bag?
Right,
nigga?
right.
He got the shit on him. He got the shit hanging out his
Bro,
It smell.
They gonna call that nigga TSA.
yeah.
He smell like this nigga got in his bag. Like when Barack, when HODC, they went to Israel.
Yeah.
He made them niggas put the yarmulke on their head. They on the YouTube. Man, we ain't put on those yarmulke. The niggas put that yarmulke on.
Yep.
They in the library.
This odd man.
Yeah.
Bring your ass back to America and serve your money.
They standing at the wailing wall.
Right. I got a precept right quick. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heavens. Going into land, backing on what your brother's going into. Everything's all about timing. There's time for blessings and there's time for curses. We're under the curses.
Right.
And yes, we have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The best thing you can have, you know, it's going to navigate us through these times and keep us stable, things of that nature.
Yeah.
And we understand as spiritual soldiers for Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, everything's about time. It ain't our time to be out here trying to get 4 or 5 wives, doing all this extra shit. Because we not, or stuff, you know, that a lot of stuff the Lord's going to give to us when we get the
The
kingdom.
Lord
But it
said
ain't
He will
time.
give us the desires of our heart.
Right.
You know, so all the things that we want, you know, wish we could have, you know, well, hey, in the kingdom, those things are going to be given to us.
Yeah, there's a scripture that says there won't be enough room for you to even put the treasures that He gives you.
Yeah.
He's going to expand. He's going to give you so much.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Nah, it was you know, you going to the shit you put the stones and all that.
Yeah.
You still get how the kingdoms from the stones become.
Man.
Bro, that's next level, man.
Next level, bro.
Things that we can't fathom.
And that's why, you know, the way it's going to be, the way the Lord is setting the kingdom up for the so-called Negroes and Native Americans, that's where that immortality has to play into play.
You know?
For you to have so much, be given so much, for you to even, you know, enjoy it, you got to live forever, man. You know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How you enjoy it? You got time.
Yeah.
I know I'm about 80 years old. I got a couple more years. You want to lose interest in certain things. You know, I'm old now. I'm about to die. Shit. You know, Jake, when they get, people in general, when they get old, the things they used to like, they don't like no more because they know they're coming to the end of the time. So they focus on family and spending time in this area and that
And
area.
you can't do it anymore because you like, you like basketball.
You got that-
I'm just saying in general.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like basketball, but you're 50 years old. You
Right.
can't play basketball.
Right.
You might injure
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah. Right, so we're gonna have the tools. We're gonna have the tool to enjoy life to its fullest. Because right now we don't have the proper tools to even enjoy life, man. You know, we're in these bodies, in this flesh. We can't live life to its fullest, even on this side, man. You know.
You retire. They say you retire at 67, right? But then you able to, after you retire, you live your life.
Right.
How the hell can you live your life?
Man, every nigga that done retired at where I work, man, them niggas come back in like 3 weeks. Because they've been on the schedule for so long, they don't even know what to do. Now they're at home, so they come back. Hey,
What they say about you go to prison over 10 years, the institutionalized? That's Jake. You work for what? Your company for 30, 40 years. You're institutionalized. So that's all you know is the work.
what can you do? You don't even know what to do because you wasn't taught anything about the earth. You wasn't taught anything about where to go, how to maneuver. So now you just at home, staring at the ceiling.
Oh, you know these women don't want you. And half the time you got what is it? What do they call it? Erectile dysfunction. You got to take Viagra to get up to even mess with a woman at an old age. What kind of shit is that? You got a lot of these old men. You got these older Jakes that they retire and then they talking about they going to Columbia. Man, don't nobody want your ass over there, man. Passport men, they get older, 70 years old. You try to tell them I'm going to the Philippines. Right? You supposed to do this at a young man age, man. You don't wait till you're 60, you're 70, you way out of your prime, man. But that's the thing. They teach you that in America. You work hard, till you're 60, you retire, and then you enjoy your life. How?
And that's the vibration of America. That I still got it.
Yeah.
I still got the bikes. You know, like
You should old nigga with the gloves come on the basketball court.
I know, right?
You like,
With
man.
the whole Jordan outfit, the top and the bottom.
High ass, knee socks and shit.
Right, knee pads and shit.
He got a knee pad. He got a knee
A knee brace.
knee brace.
Headband.
He got, man, hell no, he ain't playing on our
Elbow
team.
pads.
He bounce the ball like this. I'm telling you, he bounce the ball like this.
yeah.
Bow-legged, messed up knee. Struggling.
Yeah, old niggas trying to do young shit, man.
That's
You know?
the person goes through, man. In reality, 60 years and shit.
Yeah, real talk. Yeah, man.
Baby, what
Yup.
to be.
It's the food, man.
Our memories live 800 years.
Yup.
And the Lord, there's a scripture that says the Lord is going to cut a man's lifespan to like 60, 70 years old. You know, so I'm like that 70 mark, just going to
Yup.
Just going to
Yup.
That's a curse. You know? So we need y'all about you.
Yeah, we do.
Those new bodies, because when you start getting 40, you already start feeling the oil. You
Right.
start feeling the effect.
Yeah, real
your
talk, 40.
body start breaking down.
Yeah.
Your mind breaking down.
Ease.
You got that picture.
I ain't 30.
That ain't even supposed to be like that.
Ain't supposed to.
It ain't supposed to be like that.
Right.
I remember, I still, I first came in, I look at how the bike travels I was doing. I think I'm like, how the hell I was doing that?
Yeah, I agree.
That's what, like I said, when you're in your 20s, you're firm.
You constantly breaking down.
Yeah.
Chip by chip. The longer you live. But your mental spirit has to be getting stronger.
Yeah, that's
the
a
flame
fact.
within you
Yeah.
has to be getting brighter.
Yep.
Your flesh is going to deteriorate, but your spirit is going to keep you alive.
Endurance.
And so as long as your spirit is burning, you're good.
I got a precept. I got a precept.
Okay.
Hey, tell me you can stand by the tree.
Oh, you can sit in the truck. You want to sit in the truck?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
sit in the truck.
We had two.
We about to wrap it up anyway, you know. I got a quick precept real quick. This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. It says, seek the kingdom of Yahweh above all. Salakia. Let me read that in KJV. It says, but seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
Yeah, the Lord's going to give us everything we need. You know, especially these times was so important, man. We seek the kingdom first. You know, show brotherly love, fear the Lord, keep the law to the best of our ability. We know we're not going to be saved by the law.
Yeah.
But, you know, that shows obedience.
Yeah.
You know, doing the work. Those of us who are
Right.
called to be prophets in the ministry. We got to be instant in season, out of season, doing the lessons. All these things are so important. And Jake gonna have that stuff they do in the world that's not going off and being wicked.
Hey, there's treasures in heaven, man.
Treasures in heaven.
That's that work that we're putting in. Yahweh Shah said he goes to prepare a place for us. You know? So and that's what we're looking for. We're looking towards the future. We're looking to the future.
That's right.
You know? I'm gonna read the next verse. You got it. This is verse 34. Take therefore no thought for the morrow, for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof.
Yeah, and the Lord's going to take care of us. Everything we need, you know. Like, and I think the scripture goes into it. The Lord, the birds don't, they're not us.
Yeah, they clothe the
Yeah, the birds
Sparrow.
got food. They don't wake up saying, oh, how am I going to eat today?
Yeah.
And much more those of us who are believers of Yahweh
Exactly.
Shai. As long as we seeking the Lord first, everything we need is going to be available.
Yeah, the faith, man.
Shouldn't
Yeah.
even be learning.
Shouldn't be stressed out, especially this far in the game. Look how far we've come. Look how far we've come. We all got testimonies of how the Lord took care of us. Brothers lost jobs and was taken care of. Brothers we all went through COVID, you know, using code word COVID, D19 when that stuff came out. Brothers losing their jobs. Brothers being ostracized from their family members. But we all were comforted. We all had one another in case we needed stuff.
And those are the trials and tribulations. Those are the tribulations and the trials that the Lord is going to bring you through. Ultimately, you know, if you're a part of the elect, to make you better, to make you stronger. You know, hey, the scriptures say, you know, feed me with food that's sufficient. You know, hey, certain things you might want, desire might not be good for you right there. You know what I'm saying? Even things that the Lord gives you, that was, you know, ultimately for you to have at that particular point in time of your life. And the Lord will take that away.
That's right.
You know?
In the process of you seeking the kingdom, we all have our own paths that we got to take. In the process of you seeking the kingdom, you should be learning more about yourself. What's good for you? Like some brothers can't handle a lot of
We all
money.
got to bear our cross.
We all got to bear our cross. You got to know more about yourself in this process.
Yeah, you
know?
be asking for shit that you know you can't. If you can't manage $10, why would the Lord give you $500?
Right.
You can't manage an apartment. Why would the Lord give you a house?
Right.
You can't manage one woman. Why would the
Oh,
Lord
you
give
multiple
you
women.
That's a nigga's delight.
Yeah.
Over
They always
me.
ask for more, but they don't take care of what
Take
you
care of
got.
what you got.
Living outside they mean.
Right. Knowing yourself is so important in this walk of ours, man.
Come on, Lord, please. Nigga, you just blew
Right.
500.
Yeah, you hit the lotto. You got 10,000 and true story. You know, you got 10,000 hit the lotto and blew that shit.
Nigga got a settlement.
That's it.
Got $80,000 and blew it. Like, God dang.
You got a house in the backyard, but your room got the Doritos all on the floor. Bugs all on the
I'm in the house of that
Milk
God.
milk
In the
bowls
kitchen.
under the bed.
Nigga,
Shit.
your bed,
You know what I'm saying? Bacteria
The
growing.
house of them cold and goddamn city.
Yeah.
You had a house.
You ain't the only
All
one living in the
you out
room. You ain't the only one living in the room. No bugs and animals, a rat. He been there for years.
Hey, he ain't got a bed. He got to sleep in the
Yeah,
bed.
yeah. He said, what?
Hell no, man. Lord know what he got. Lord know what he giving you, man.
Facts.
Settle down.
Settle down.
That's right, that's right.
Yeah, Jake, like I said, the mindset of Jake is done.
Right.
Done.
They live over there. You know, the women, they're gone.
Oh, yeah.
And then again, remember, look at the upbringing. Look at the mothers. Look at the fathers. All people had a bugged out mind.
Right.
And they put that on the kids.
Yep.
And that's why everybody's talking crazy. This saying manifest. You learn no shit like that growing up. Manifest. So you can say you want $1 million. You know, it just don't make sense.
Yeah. Can I bring this out?
Got it.
This is 1 Timothy 6, and I'm going to jump straight to the point in verse 5. It says, perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness, from such withdraw thyself, but godliness with contentment is great gain.
Yep.
You know?
Supposed to be
it's mighty
content with what
funny.
you have.
Yeah.
And it's mighty funny. It's mighty funny how they use Christian pastors and they just use niggas in the world. I mean, that's Esau's MO. He used that for a long time.
I want to thank God.
Yeah,
These niggas get on stage, thank God, but you've been doing ritualistic.
Right.
Behind
On
the
the left
scenes.
side. On
Right.
the left hand side.
I want to thank God. God ain't give them that shit.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
What God you praying to?
Right.
That's what I just read it.
Right.
They think gain is God.
Right.
God that gave me this.
And if you're proud about it, talk about it then. You think God really gave you this and the things you went through was all of the Lord? Well, talk about it. Shit. Stop hiding.
Exactly.
Talk about
Tell
the
us what you
sacrifices
did,
you
yeah.
did. You gave up your mother. You
Yep,
killed
yep.
your brother. I like to drink blood. So what?
Right,
Stand on your shit.
right.
If
Be a man
you know,
about
be a man
Right,
about what you
right.
did. Yeah. Yeah. Hiding shit and keeping on the down. Everything on the down low.
Yeah,
Right.
you said I work hard for this.
Right.
You know how you got there.
That's why they gonna be low in the kingdom.
Yep.
Come on.
He ain't dealing with nobody like that.
And Esau sure loved, he sure loved promoting.
Yep.
And then the masses be like that. See, he is a Christian. God is dealing with him. And that's again from our youth up. That's what we saw.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, people that used to come around, it didn't matter if niggas was selling drugs, the top nigga that sold drugs, criminal, or as long as you was on that TV or people looked up to you, it didn't matter what you did. 'Cause that's another thing Esau did.
Yeah.
He promoted wickedness.
Right.
But now, again, like the scripture says, things that happen in the dark come to the light.
That's right.
Now you're seeing the effects and you're seeing what they really did, but the damage is done. These people, like, you would think it would be an outrage of Diddy. No. Niggas now just making a joke like, no Diddy, no Diddy. So these people don't care.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them doing the same shit.
Yep.
You know, they
Yep.
have their orgies and
Yep.
gangs
On lower levels, yep.
and
They
dissing
still
each
doing
other
it.
now.
Yep.
They doing a lot of shit Diddy
Yep.
doing. So they
Facts.
complain about the shit.
Diddy everywhere.
Swinger parties and all that.
Yeah,
Doing all
that shit
that.
is very, you be surprised how normal that is.
Yep.
Man, half of the kids is being born today's off of drugs.
Yep.
And gang banging and man, that was shit. Man, back in the
Off the ecstasy,
Yeah.
and having a euphoric state. And then, you know, they go to these clubs. All these women don't even remember some of the sex partners they had.
Yeah.
They just got so much control.
And a lot of times your mother really don't know who the dad is because she got drunk. And she
Yup.
was off her influence. So how the hell can she tell you who the father is? So how the hell can she tell you anything? And that's one. And every poor man child's gonna ask, "Where's my father?"
Yep.
And if he don't know, it's going to affect him. Because I'm gonna tell you something. My father died at an early age, and that kind of, you know, I always yearned and wondered. Actually, I was a kid, and I grew up in my teen. I was still asking me, what about my dad? What about my dad? What about my dad? What's up with him? You know. But so I know I'm not the only one. So that really plagues on a man child, even a daughter. You know. But again, that's why if our people really not understanding the detriment that Esau did to us, and the fact that you know, our upbringing has really destroyed us. I mean, that's why you have to be destroyed. Because again, like the scriptures are coming out, we're putting our body, we're making our body a living sacrifice to teach our people that it's like that Yahweh Shah. And our people are saying, man, the hell with y'all niggas talking about. We still are for, and it's like that, our people are underneath that Barabbas spirit. Our people want criminals. Our people love wickedness.
Now, if this was attached to some type of, income or riches, with these other camps are trying to
Jay-Z's.
Yeah.
Top,
Our people would would be more acceptable to it. That's why these other camps are trying to link, this truth to that. The Hebrew Israelite, we're going to blitz the land.
Yeah, they're trying to make it a show. They're trying to make it look cool.
The jet setting. Hey, you can do this. Hey, you can in our organization, you can travel the world, travel the globe. You possibly could be a multi-millionaire. So they're trying to link that and attach that to that, to make it more, appealing.
They're trying to make it extravagant.
Yeah.
The flashy garments.
Right.
It's like, for instance, you had Sakara with the jagged edge singer.
Yeah. And they look at that as just good marketing for them. And IUIC is in the same boat, because, just like the whole situation with, what was it, Kendrick Lamar? He said something about the IUIC or something like,
He didn't mention them, he just mentioned them. They came out and said,
he with us. Yeah.
Right.
They done marched around the whole goddamn stadium.
They posted it.
And then they had that interview with that so-called Jay, and he said, we just don't want him to be linked with, certain Israelite groups. And he didn't just say, link the great thing with Great Millstone. He done brought that up. It's like, man, so you'll defend a wicked ass nigga that has sold his soul, and don't really care nothing about, the quote unquote Hebrew Israelites, you know what I'm saying, the various different camps, because right after that, Esau made him go back. You gotta make a donation to Islam, nigga. Yeah. Fuck you say? Don't you ever say Hebrew Israelite again?
Kyrie Irving said, I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah. They always gotta denounce it. They always gonna come out and like, oh, I just read a book. Yeah. I did not.
It's on Amazon.
I share.
Wasn't those on Amazon.
I did not. That's
you don't believe it? You don't believe it?
Yeah.
It's Amazon.
Yeah,
Stand on what they believe.
They had them
I don't respect these celebrities.
Nah.
If you're not out here standing on the Lord, standing for the Lord, or at least out here listening, or being a charitable, because the scriptures speak for those in Richmond that are behind the scenes giving alms. You do have those in their lot. They're not even doing that.
Yeah.
Kanye coming out, the 12 tribes of Judah.
Right.
You're not even saying it right. Where's your alms, Kanye?
Right.
You should be giving us all $1 million.
That's in the law.
That's in the law. You're a rich nigga.
Yeah.
You ain't, but you're not doing it.
Right.
So we don't want to hear no celebrities talking about, oh, look, he good, but if you're not giving alms or helping the poor. Scripture said they give even a brother a small water.
Yeah.
He's doing that for bro.
Yeah. And it just shows, man, a lot of these guys are just in it for the money. They're in it for that free promotion. Somebody who's influential, they want, please say our name, please say our camp name. So that's going to help them, and getting more followers, bringing more revenue, bringing more money.
That goes back to your...
Con. The water. It says, verse 6, but godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out, and having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
Yep.
But they that will be rich fall into temptation.
And if I can say too, being content covers a multitude of things.
Yeah.
One, it keeps your eyes single.
Yep.
Your eyes single, because our goal is to make it to the kingdom, get salvation. We're all in this for our salvation. And being content also shows that you're grateful for what the Lord's giving you. Whatever your talent is, you shouldn't be comparing yourself to the next brother. You thankful for what you got. If you can break down a few scriptures on fear, trust, your videos are basic, keep it that way.
Right.
And be thankful for that. But when you're not content, then you start being covetous. Oh, I want what the next person
You
had.
want the other brother give.
You want what other brothers
You're
give.
not content that the Lord gifted you with just the truth. That ain't enough.
I want to be that.
Right.
I want to be like Dallas.
Right.
That's an ungrateful child. That's how the Lord looks at it. He gave you a gift.
And you're ungrateful with your spiritual gift.
What you got, your portion.
Yeah.
You don't deserve it.
I want to be amongst the big kids. Big kids.
I want to be the man.
I want to be the main speaker.
I want to be more eloquent.
Right.
I want to be deep.
I want to be the best at the Hebrew.
Don't shit that ain't gonna get you on the cherry. Even if you like all the fruits of the spirit, charity, temperance, you know what I'm saying? Humility.
Yeah, you get around a guy. He's a fucking weirdo. ironic. He's like, yo, what's the matter with this guy?
Right.
They act like that. You know? He has a problem.
Yeah, that
you know?
pride. Yeah, that
But you
pride.
can quote the preachers. Anybody can watch videos and regurgitate what they heard.
Exactly.
You're not working on yourself, man.
Right.
That's what really the scripture is about, applying what you're teaching.
Yeah.
Because again, going back to that moving your eye and being hypocrite.
You done?
Come on, scripture, we can wrap
Yeah,
it up.
yeah, I'm just gonna finish this out. It says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare.
And you see it, and it's funny because you know every day we don't spoke about all of this, and you know, which things have gone up high as hell. Anybody that really knows about the system and how the way the system is set up. But Jake's still talking about buying home, getting rich, and all that. Our last stronghold was the 70s, 60s, and 80s. Nigga, you still talking about getting rich. You got niggas that sold all types of shit back in the day. Saw millions. And they ain't got shit to show.
Right.
And niggas don't even realize once you get a certain amount of money, you going to no, not even that. You going to a different tax bracket. So and this system is so jigged and rigged. If you got $1 million around sitting in your account, you got to pay taxes on
Yep.
that money.
And if I can say too, the brother was going into it earlier. Remember, Esau sees everything. Once your account hits a certain balance, it's going to ping them.
Yeah.
And then if you got certain influence, then you're gonna have certain people knocking on the door wearing the suits, you know, looking like men in black, saying, "Look, you need it's time to sell out. You got too much. Right? You got $1 million followers now.
That's where you going.
You know,
Speaking of which,
You're gonna see a coffee on your table. Remember that video? You know? You got it out.
speaking of which, I saw this thing where they're talking about if you have $15,000 in your account,
yep.
it's gonna raise.
It's gonna raise
10,000. Yeah, 10,000.
Yep. It's gonna raise.
Anytime you do anything over 10,000, it automatically pings.
Yep.
You know, which it's probably lower now. Everything's probably pinging.
Yep.
No, 5,000 probably pinging them now.
It's in your account.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's just sitting in the account.
Yeah, 10,000.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's 5 to 10K. I know because I opened up a new bank.
Yep.
And you got to explain whether if it's personal,
Yep.
Yep.
business, charity,
Yep.
what, like they
All
literally
that.
got that shit down to
No.
a T.
That was known back in the day.
Yeah.
That was known. That was way back in the day.
Yeah.
If you got 10,000 in the account, they're flagging it, and you got to explain that.
Yep, you gotta
so
explain
just
it.
imagine you got 100,000.
Yep. And they think, and not to cut you off, they think that because Donald Trump is laying off a lot of these IRS workers that, oh yeah, we good. No, AI. AI gonna pick that shit up. The algorithm, send them a letter. Automatic letter sent to your ass. Email. You might get a phone call from AI. Yeah, you owe $15,000 in taxes on May 12th. You didn't pay XYZ amount of taxes. All that stuff is gonna be automated.
So the thing is, they don't have a problem with you depositing. They don't have a problem with you depositing.
Yeah.
It's when you want your shit back.
I get that.
Patience.
It's when you want your shit back, they got a problem.
Yep.
They don't ask you where you got it from when you put it in there.
Yep.
And really, Esau's coming for all your riches.
Yep.
All the people, Jake,
Yep.
these other nations, his own people. He's coming for it all, man. He's really trying to set up like the brothers started talking about, you know, the beginning camp, you know, the universal basic income. What is that saying? What is it? One of the Rothschilds said, the Rockefellers? You will own nothing and be happy?
Klaus Schwab.
Oh, yeah, Salaki.
It's a bug.
Yeah, you know, so you, like the brother said, you're going to be eating bug meat. You're gonna have a 3D printer. Whatever you want, you can be able to make it out of bug juice.
Right.
You know, you can be living a damn near Bug's life. You print out your 3D pizza, your 3D fries, and you type the code in, but you gotta have access to that code. If you went over your social credit score, you didn't do enough, it ain't gonna work. You're gonna type in that pizza, it ain't nothing gonna come out. You know, this is where we're headed, man.
They show you that one of the seasons of Black Mirror where if you had low credit score, you were looked at as undesirable.
Yeah.
Which really is now. Like if you don't have a lot of
Yep.
Oh yeah.
you look at as a nobody.
Yep.
So really it's that way now.
Yep.
If you
Likes,
show a
comments.
bitch, she like, let me see your Instagram. You should. Yeah. She gonna put on her head. Yeah, average nigga.
He a low level.
I'm gonna deal with him, but he an average nigga. So I'm gonna make him work.
I'm gonna treat him how I want to treat
She'll
him.
give it to Chris Brown the first night.
Damn.
She gonna make you work.
Damn.
Hypergamy. That's
a
the
difference.
term.
She'll pay $1,000.
Chris
take a
Brown
picture
just he don't even have to say a word.
Oh shit, Chris Brown.
She get bitch, get over me. You
Right.
take me to Blue Chris. Right. Next weekend, take me out of the
Oh no, she want a deposit before you even hit her up.
Take me to the gala. We're gonna
Cash,
shop.
she wants to send her cash app to you.
And she bring her friends.
What is it, Venmo?
Right.
She want hair done, nails
Right.
done, everything did.
And when you get it, you gotta do all the work.
Right.
She ain't about to do
She
squat
gonna
on
be
you.
landing
She
like
ain't
a
squat
dope.
positioning
Yeah.
on you.
She landing
She
like
ain't
a
gonna ride. She
damn
ain't gonna
dead
throw it
fish.
back for the good. Well,
Yeah.
you gotta do all the damn work.
Hey, hold on.
Yep.
And it's gonna be dry.
I was gonna say that. It's
you
gonna be
need
dry.
lubricant. You gotta do all the goddamn work.
And you gotta go get that.
And you gotta tell that bitch to go wash. Go wash.
Cause she'll give you some stink pussy.
Dirty bitch.
Yeah, he wanted to do it. But
But
he gotta say,
if it's Chris Brown, she can't.
Oh yeah.
She got shit on.
Right. The best
You know what I'm
perfume.
saying? Fuck out of here, man. It's all a game, man. If we not men
Game is
don't
rigged.
play games.
Right.
I'm gonna continue. Yeah, I'm just gonna read the 12. We're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna continue on. It says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
There you go.
Which,
Hey, like I said, if you don't have temper like the brother's going into, you're gonna fall for those games that these women are playing. And they learned it from the who? The serpent, the devil. And the game is they go, how you want life in a game that's rigged? Now
Damn.
the whole Babylon system is a cover up for Esau's dirty work. And he paints it like a good picture. But you think you're gonna get a part of the pie, piece of the pie? The game is rigged.
Yep.
This is for Esau.
Right.
He cleaned up his dirty work, cleaned up his trash, swept away all the footprints. He has made this place look nice as hell, but it's dirty as hell. How the way he got this place, his infrastructure, is by death, rob, and murder. The Renaissance.
it says, which drown men in destruction and perdition.
Yep.
For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after.
Yeah, you fucking chasing after monopoly money. Shit that isn't even
Fiat
real.
currency.
Yeah.
You can't own nothing. Jake talking about all this wealthy generational wealth. I'm here to break the general wealth. How, nigga? How? And you can't own nothing here. At least I would listen to it. If Jake would be like, you know what, we're gonna take it. I might listen to Jake then. I might, show me more.
Still won't be successful at it.
Still won't be successful. But I'll listen to it then.
Yeah, you have no land to pass down to your children.
Right.
Oh, I open up a school. Well, at any moment, you still can take that school.
Did he have a
or
school?
destroy it and build something else.
Did he?
Yeah, Dr. Umar been talking about a school that never got open.
Then he got a school.
Hey, Dr. Umar
Yeah.
tried.
You can't pass that shit down. So the breaking the generational quotes and building generational wealth. No Jake has done. Oprah ain't did it.
Yep.
LeBron ain't did it.
Right.
Michael Jordan ain't did it.
Yep.
These the richest black niggas that you got.
Yep. And there was some jakes who owned the whole beachfront over there in California. That shit got taken from them.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to give it back. Now
That was like passed down to them.
passed down to them.
And it was still
taken.
taken away.
Yo, that nigga
He playing
That's
that.
an old nigga
playing
playing
Airbnb.
Old niggas think
Yeah,
they
it's
young.
hard though.
Old niggas think they young.
He said, let it go.
Nigga on a scooter with a boombox. It says, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. But thou, O man of Yahweh, flee these things and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, and meekness. Verse 12 is the last verse. It says,
Out here, cut people don't teach you.
right,
You have to apply that shit.
right.
Come out here and shout all you want at people. That's not changing who you are.
Right.
You can be the same nigga that can stand out here and shout at people.
And that actually kind of makes you, it kind of can destroy you too.
Because all this puff and fall.
Yep.
So
That's
you
right.
hear this, you look what I can do now. Now you think you somebody, but the scripture says when a man thinketh too highly of himself, he deceiveth himself.
The greatest,
When he is nothing.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
the greatest example was the ex-camp head in Atlanta. That man
Yeah,
had, my goodness,
That
man.
is-
He had the whole Brooklyn thing. He was a Benjamin.
Oh,
He had the
sales
accent.
pitch.
Yeah, like,
The
come
look.
on. Yeah, he had it all.
Yeah, yeah. And see, like, it's not really about that, you know, because, hey, the Lord ain't looking for like the best speakers,
Facts.
you know,
It's all about
the
heart.
best storytellers and all that, man. Hey, look
We had
at
Italians here.
yeah, I mean, look at Moses, man. You know, Moses said, I fumble my words. I can't
Yep.
speak very good, man. Why you choosing me? I can't do this.
Right.
No way I can do this. You know? The Lord
Yep.
said, no, you going do it,
Yep.
huh?
Yep.
You Aaron, you know,
Yep.
you know what better speak. Take care. Ain't no excuses, man.
Yeah, Jeremiah said, I'm too young.
Yeah.
I'm only like 11 years old.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man,
Right.
I'm gonna tell these old
Right.
the older elders of
Right.
the nation.
Right.
I said, get out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because all the glory, the Most High wants all the glory.
All the glory, yeah.
It can't be like, well, they listen to me
Yeah.
out here because I'm the nice with my word. I could have been a rapper.
Yeah.
You know, I'm smooth with this out here. You know, nah, man, all the glory goes to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh.
Ultimately, going to the hideaway, you always
Yeah.
get the numbers.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of us. I'd say the majority of us that are in this truth and doing this work, we weren't no good speakers. We ain't like speaking in front of crowds of people and doing presentations in school, man. You be nervous as hell. God damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
They give that look. They give you that look. They might not say damn. They might be like,
Yeah.
you up there talking and fumbling your words.
Right,
Speak
right.
up.
Speak up.
Right.
Yeah. We never imagined that we was gonna be doing
Right.
this. Because really, we speaking in front of the whole world.
And that goes into the truth it's supposed to build you up.
Exactly.
That's another thing for you guys that come into the fold and be having that low down.
I ain't shit spirit because the world look at me and so I ain't gonna brush my hair.
Right, I ain't gonna brush my teeth.
I ain't gonna maintain myself.
No, the truth supposed to give you that
Yeah,
boldness and confidence.
Exactly.
Yep.
You not changing.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I can say
That's not humility, man. That's
That's
a
right.
demon on you.
That's right.
Because guys are coming here and disguise that as humility. Lift your head up, man.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I didn't want to cut you off. So like you made a good point. There's two different types of pride. You know, there's arrogance and there's nothing.
Exactly.
You take pride in being a
Right,
servant
right.
of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh. I take pride in being a man too.
Right.
Have confidence.
Have
Right.
confidence. Build
Groom
yourself
yourself.
up. Clean yourself up. Groom yourself. Take pride in
Clean
taking
yourself
care of
up.
yourself.
Yeah. The scripture speak about the righteous man will stand in great boldness.
Boldness.
You gotta be bold. You gotta believe in what. Hey, if you believe it, man, hey, well, show that you believe it.
Right.
Hey, they was right. He said, clean yourself up.
Right.
Clean it.
Right. Right.
We were.
Yeah.
And then
He saw me. Peter.
Beat the hell out.
Hey, now trying to clean us up.
and look, our Lord and Savior is coming back.
Right.
The King of the universe is coming back. You want to be the best version of yourself.
Right. You don't feel better about yourself being in this wisdom, knowledge, and truth, man. This thing just ain't for
It ain't for you.
How you not feel better about it? Now we gonna go through shit. We dealing with shit, all
Yeah.
types of shit, the curses. But man, you should feel good about,
Right.
you know, that the Lord blessed you with this knowledge,
Right.
man.
We ain't around niggas.
Right.
Right.
We ain't counted.
Right. You know the percentage of people on the earth that have the knowledge that we have? We're in the 0.0000 percentile.
It's only one GMS camp in Virginia. Now imagine Yahweh shall pull up with your head down,
Right.
looking all.
Yo, so, what the fuck?
Can't have you
Right.
Right.
What's my elite?
Right.
Right.
You gotta lose that shit away from
Right.
you.
Right.
What the fuck is
Yes.
that?
Yeah, but the script.
I called you into my
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I called you to
We
be
got the
amongst
victory
winners.
through
He said-
Yahweh
he
Shai.
said-
Man, we already won. We
He
really
said
already
you
won.
look, he said you look all defeated. Look at you.
Right.
He said, look at you.
Yeah. But the scriptures go into that. Make herself ready for the
Yeah,
groom.
yeah.
For the wedding.
We gotta be. You gotta.
Yeah.
Good one. Good one.
So that's really what we're doing, making ourselves
Yeah,
ready.
yeah,
For the
yeah.
wedding.
Can't
All the
be.
impurities that we got. We
Right,
gotta get them
right.
out of here.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah, we can't be unsure.
Because what's the who's this that came here with dirty garments?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's the wedding parable.
Yeah, the wedding parable.
Yeah. Because we got to cast all of that off.
Yeah.
When you get invited to a wedding, you got to clean up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Leading
saying?
up to wedding, people lose weight for that. They
Yeah,
get that
every-
Hey, the woman, would submerge herself in oil.
Oil,
yeah.
Hey, man, it's wisdom and knowledge.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
All
So
of that.
this whole
Right.
time is really a
Yeah,
prep.
the prep
Yeah,
time.
Purification.
Because this wisdom and knowledge is likened unto oil. You know, likened unto water. You know what I'm saying? So this is that preparation for the marriage.
Purification.
Purification.
And remember, we all know if any girl really likes you,
She gonna clean it. She gonna clean up.
Chris Brown, hey. How much more work? We know the lowest woman.
So you want the Lord to come back down, but you still under the purification period. You can't. You want the brother. I want the brother now. Right. You still got to go through purification.
That's it.
That's it.
Right. Come.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 16. Wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes, and cease to do evil.
How do you wash yourself through this word, man? You know, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed to this word. You know? And in the process, man, you just making yourself better all around. You know, this truth extends further. Like even, you know, watching your diet, things of that nature, being more clean.
Makes you better overall, man.
Make you a better overall person, man. And the kingdom is gonna be beautiful. Right. You know, we're gonna have our heart's desires.
Yeah.
Sit on that.
I got to read this last verse and we can wrap up. It says, fight the good fight of faith. Lay hold on eternal life.
That's right.
Whereunto thou art also called and hast professed a good profession before many witnesses.
Yep. And this is a fight. You know, we fighting spiritually. You know, we gotta stay in the fight, keep fighting a good fight of faith.
Hey, that good profession in front of many witnesses. Hey, we're standing in front of the whole earth, man.
Yep.
You know, before the whole earth, we're proclaiming this wisdom and knowledge, man. We're on YouTube, we're out here in the public. Anybody can come by, anybody can watch us, man. You know, even people who are close to you. You know, family members, you know, your aunt, your uncle. Right. You know, this is all through the spirit power. Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It's not of us. It's not we trained and worked behind the scene. I went to speaking class. You know, I just stood in front of the mirror and I just started speaking these precepts for years. Now I'm comfortable doing it. Nah, man. We were uncomfortable when we came out in the highways and byways, man. But we had that fire inside of us that was put there by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You nervous as hell.
You know, oh shit, somebody coming up. You know, you on edge.
Oh yeah, damn. Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
No, say it again, somebody.
No, just saying you on edge, man.
Yep.
It's something new to you.
Yep.
You know.
That's right.
But you know, also as you go on your journey, you don't want it to become something just going through emotion. Remember that first love. Yeah. Because Jacob let you be in it for a period of time. Now you just
Right.
Just going through the motion. No, man, no. You gotta examine yourself always. That word examine is just just. You're gonna have your low moments, you're gonna have your high moments.
That's right.
That's what the brotherhood's there for, and that's what you know. Those videos, those digital epistles, that we call them, they're being put up to help you, keep you nurtured in this. You need it. That's why being by yourself alone, bullshit, and you don't need it. That ain't good, man. Yeah, that ain't good. Nothing gets built by one person alone. Right. The temple is lively stones being laid one by one beside each other.
Yeah, not even wickedness is alone. Look how they came. You go back to the bottomless pit. The whole EU got together. Esau, Amalek. And then they was able to gain the whole world through the sea.
Luckily, Yahushua, he didn't even move alone. You know? He was able to.
He could have. But the first thing he did, after he got baptized by John, all right, let me go get fishing. Hey. I'll make y'all fish. That's the first thing he did. He started getting his
That's heavy.
And then he even said about his family, who was real family. He could have said, man, it's about me. No, he said, no, these are my brothers. My mother.
He built them up the whole time he had them with him. Was him teaching them parables, teaching them how to heal, teaching them how to teach.
Watch their feet.
He was building them here. He was showing them everything.
So they sent away,
And then he said, when I leave, I'm going to leave you with a comforter. That's what it's about. The greater you are, the more servant you should be.
Well, how will you get?
You don't become bored over, bro. You don't try to. It's all about helping each other. That's right.
Yeah, kind of also goes into how you need a man to teach you. You know, he was the ultimate teacher. You know, to teach the other men.
If I could add, go back to the original point that you made earlier, not about screaming and yelling on camera, because eventually you got to take this garment off. Eventually that camera got to come off. What are you doing behind the scenes to build yourself up to be that perfect servant or great servant for Yahweh Shem Yahushua?
And if I could say to the Gentiles in the world, to show you, by their response to how you conduct yourself outside the truth. You know, when you take off the garment. See the brother, the guy came up,
they gonna gravitate to him.
Because they see those through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, how we conducting ourselves outside, you know, when we take the garment off.
Yeah, you should be different.
So
You shouldn't be the same man that you was before you come into truth. You know, like it should be something exponentially different about you, man. That even people outside the truth notice. You know, that take notice. It should be such a change that even small things and subtle things about you are very, very different and noticeable. And you got a lot of jakes that, you know, they really haven't put that old man off. They're still dirty. You know what I'm saying? They're not even wanting to get clean. They took wipes. They took hand wipes. And so they look a little bit clean, but you get close to the this shit don't smell right. You gotta take a bath. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get in the water.
Use water.
Yeah. You just turn the bath water on and stood in the bathroom. And so your mother, you know, it perceived that you took a shower.
Always just do that shit. You just turn the water. You ain't even
You ain't even in there. You sitting on the toilet.
Nasty
You sitting on the toilet with your feet up. You know what I'm saying?
Only Jake know that shit.
Come here, let me smell you.
Right.
You ain't washed.
You wash from the sink.
But that shows you have to be taught these things.
Yeah, because you really got to be to hygiene.
Yeah. But the kids don't want to walk.
Yeah, kids are rebellious.
And even that's deep when you the spirit. The kids don't want to be washed. You gotta come as new babies. They don't want to be
That's a good point.
Right. It's everything.
Like, I go to physical therapy twice a week or whatever.
Lord willing, you edify.
And that's
All right, we're going to face the east and give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash.
double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us the 100% truth according to the Bible and the will. Shalom to all you Akim and you Aqua, those are the hopeful elected seeking for salvation. Shalom.
Shalom.
You good, bro?